Come on, Annie. Let's go to the movies.
This is the Cinereelists, episode 700. My name is Kyle.
My name is James.
And my name is Mr. Movies.
And we're here to talk Mr. Movies and Mr. Movies, as well as movies with Mr. Movies.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
But Mr. Movies, welcome to episode 700 of the Cinereelists. This seems like a great place to start.
I agree. Absolutely. Happy to be here.
Yeah, good. Yeah, in case people haven't noticed, Zach is not here this week.
Well, no, I'm here.
He's no longer with us.
He's no longer
I'm here.
with us.
But I feel on this episode, everyone should just refer to me as Mr. Movies. I think that's only appropriate.
All right.
Can I be Senor Cinema?
If you'd like.
Okay, great.
I'll be Philip Film. Thank you.
All right. You got it, guys. I don't want to get in your way.
I love the alliteration. That's great.
For sure. Welcome to episode 700. If you didn't know, this is part 2 of a 2-part sub-series of a 14-part major
Well, if
series.
it's a sub-series, then it's the 7th part.
It's the 7th part?
Well, it's the second sub part of the 7th part.
It's 7B.
Yeah, it's 7B.
It's
Right.
7B.
Or is it 7A because we did B last episode?
I
Because
don't know.
last episode we did 700 to 651. This episode we're doing 650 to 600. So I feel like this is 7A.
Usually when you order things, you order them A and then B. So even though you're right, this is the upper half of 7. It's still the second half of the 7. So I would go 7B.
Yep. I'm with you.
Yeah, disagree.
The point is, this is our top 700 favorite films of all time episode part 2. In part 1, which is episode 699, the episode directly preceding this one, we covered our favorite movies
Plural, yes.
from 651 to 700. In this episode, we will be counting down our favorite movies from 601 to 650, bringing around, the circle is now complete, our top 700 movies of all time when you combine all the other previous episodes in this series.
And just to clarify, these are individual lists, right? So my top 700 favorite films of all time is obviously going to be different than Philip Films and Senior Cinemas.
Yes.
That's right, Mr. Movies.
That's exactly that's exactly what it is. Good job, Eminem.
Have we ever considered doing a Cinereelist top 100?
No, but I think that'd be great.
We have discussed the Cinereelist top 10
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
before, like movies that like all of us gave 5 stars.
Right.
A top 10 would be interesting. That sounds like a great idea for an episode, an on the fly episode.
Oh, like we argue. All right, 100. Everyone nominate a movie. We argue about it.
I think we start at the top down. Like, what's our clear number 1, our clear
Okay.
number 2, and then we argue all the way down. Potential to be our longest episode ever.
Yeah, if you're looking for a 6-8 hour episode of Cinereelists.
Yep. Yeah, so if you haven't listened to episode 699, that is definitely accompanying this episode. But if you just want to hear our top 601 to 650, that's what we're going to be talking about in this episode. So strap in. Before we jump in, we need to remind you there's a video version of this podcast on YouTube. Go check it out there. Search Cinereelists and subscribe. Watch while you listen. You could also support us on Patreon, patreon.com/Cinereelists. Support the podcast, get extra after show audio. You could leave us an Apple Podcast review, 5 stars only. We'd appreciate that. Or send us an email, heyguys@cinereelists.com, REEL with an S on the end. Send us a comment, a question, a list suggestion, a movie suggestion, or maybe send us your own top 700 films. That'd be great. I know there's at least one listener out there that has a top 700 that could be sent to us for sure. just because there was discussion in the Discord about it. So if you have a top 700 or even a top 100, send it our way. We're always curious what the listeners are into. There are links in the description of this episode to do any and all of those things. You guys ready to jump in to the final episode of this sub-series? The top 700 favorite films of all time.
Of this installment of the sub-series.
Right.
Yeah.
Final
series.
installment.
No, it's not the final. Well, it's the
final
It's the
installment.
final installment of the sub-series.
No, we'll have more sub-series.
Right.
Of
but
this sub-series is the final
sub-series.
installment.
This sub-series. This specific.
Wait, these 2 episodes count as a sub-series?
Yeah.
What's the sub-series? I thought these 2 episodes are the sub-series. The series is our
top 700.
top 7,
Okay.
our top
So
X
this
amount
is
of
the
movies.
final installment of the sub-series of the 7th sub-series.
Right.
Of the ongoing list.
Yeah.
Yes.
Perpetual list.
Exactly.
Which
Infinite list.
we're ending this at top 1,000. I didn't tell you guys that, but we're definitely
that
doing
may or may not be true. I'm curious to see the graph of where our rate of watching movies and the number of movies we've seen, where they intersect to where we will have ranked every movie we've seen and there's no other movies left to rank.
No, I'm
by
just
the time it's the next.
by this
100.
I meant the entire podcast.
Oh, you're wrapping the Cinereelists up.
Right. At our top
1,000.
1,000. Right. Which would be how many years from now? 6 years from now? 6+ years from now?
Yeah, like 6 years from now.
Wow. All right. Interesting.
Unless we change our mind. But
Wow. James
Unless
calling
you
it
change
hard
your
out.
mind. Yeah, James is out.
right.
He's
Well-
he's figured out his fire number, and so that's when he's retiring and
Yep.
going to where are you retiring, James?
Well, I've never
Thailand?
revealed this, but really the only reason I've done this podcast is so I could do my top 1,000 list, and I didn't know how to do it, and so we started a podcast, and that's just been my motivation the entire time is get to
You're
1,000.
sneaky.
Yeah.
You're sneaky.
And you just needed 16 years to rate your top 1,000 movies.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay.
For sure.
Efficient.
All right.
All
Who
right.
wants to go first?
This is silly.
I think we're going to keep the same order.
I don't remember the order.
I don't remember either.
I think I went first.
I think it was James and then me and then Zach.
That sounds about right.
Mr. Movies, please.
Sorry. Philip Film, Senor Cinema speaking, and then finally Mr. Movies can
Thank you.
continue.
All right. Okay. Let's get into this. My 650th favorite film of all times is still a 4-star movie. Pretty good.
So is mine.
When it
So
comes,
is mine.
there you go. These are still good movies. Might sound
4-star.
ridiculous to
Great
be,
movies.
to be up this high in the numbers, but still great movies. My 650 is from 2015. It's The Childhood of a Leader, directed by Brady Corbet, starring a bunch of people you would not recognize, and neither did I. This is I would say a drama with a little bit of thriller.
It looks like a horror movie.
It
looks incredibly creepy.
Yes. It's essentially, without saying it, young Hitler.
Okay.
And so, somebody who's not called Hitler but has like all the historical elements of a Hitler who is growing up and in that environment. And it's it kind of treats him like he's a part of the horror genre of like evil children, basically, where it's like everybody around him is just kind of like off-put by him, basically, and some of the things he says and the way he says it type of thing. And yet he has people around him that care for him and want the best for him because he hasn't done the things he's going to do, basically. And it's really good. I enjoyed this movie quite a bit. It, has a lot of like, it's not historically perfect, which of course it's not. It's not even trying to be. It's trying to, I don't know, create a scenario that's interesting to be played out on film, knowing the future, as it were. Just a really good movie. I enjoyed it. Childhood of a Leader.
With Robert Pattinson.
Oh. Does he play young Hitler?
He is in it. Now that you mention it, you would probably recognize him. Likely. He's not in it a lot.
Okay.
I think there's like one billiards scene that he comes into, and then he leaves the movie.
Oh, that's it?
It might be a little more than that, but he's not the main characters for sure.
Okay.
Nice.
Senor?
Thank you, mister. All right. So just a reminder to everyone, there's been a lot of shuffling between my top 600, top 700, because I have just watched a lot of movies that I like more than my old top 600. So a lot of my top 600 kind of moved into my top 700. So in cases like that, I will highlight that movie briefly, but I will jump over into a new movie that I added to my list. So in this case, my 650 is Layer Cake, which is my old 576. So a lot of movement there. But instead, I want to talk about my new number. It's not numbered. Let's go with it. A new number one to the list, and that's going to be Late Night with the Devil, which is my number 515.
Okay.
This is a 2023 movie, though I think it came out in 2024 technically. This is a horror film that is presented as a like 1970s talk show. And the idea is main character is played by David Dashmalian, and he's playing this talk show host that is losing his ratings. So he decides to put on this big Halloween episode. It's this whole stunt episode, and he has on a guy who claims to be a mentalist. He has on a character who's a skeptic, and his big piece of resistance is he's gonna bring on a girl who claims that she is possessed by the devil. And then horror things happen from there. But the presentation of this movie is what really drove it home, because it's like watching, a late night show where it's the camera is on the character. The camera sometimes goes to the audience. You're sort of seeing everything through if you were actually watching this event happen on television. And then it cleverly will give you some like behind the scenes footage on commercial breaks with like a black and white handheld camera, kind of like as a documentary. So I just thought the presentation on this thing was really clever. And I found it to be maybe not scary, but definitely interesting take on a horror film that I really enjoyed from 2023.
Is it safe to assume that she was possessed by the devil?
I can neither confirm nor deny what happens in the movie.
All right. Okay. Well, we are already rolling straight through this list. We're about to be finished with our first entry. We're only 10 minutes in. This is going very smooth, I would say. My number 650 is The Wolf of Wall Street from 2013. This is a well-known movie by Martin Scorsese. It has the people in it that are in it. It's a fun time. It's long, if I remember correctly. How long is this movie?
It's 3 hours.
3 hours
but
long.
To me, I did not feel those 3 hours. This movie goes to the clip.
Yeah. You experience lost time during this film. But no, it's a great movie. It is a lot of fun. And yeah.
Nice.
Wolf of Wall Street.
That's a good one. Before I jump into 649, let's go back to Childhood of a Leader for 1 second.
Please,
one thing
no,
I forgot to mention. We have plenty of time here.
Yeah, we need to cover these more in depth.
If you need motivation to watch The Childhood of a Leader, it's the directorial debut of the guy who directed The Brutalist. That'll give you an idea of what you're in.
Brady Corbet.
You know what? I think let's watch the trailer and live react.
Yeah.
All right. Some other
What do
day
you
we
say?
will do that. Yes.
Some other day. Okay. Not
Should we
now?
just
Okay.
watch it right now, guys?
Just the first 10 minutes, get a taste of it.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Great. I love it.
Okay.
Then we can do my 649 for 10 minutes, and then Mr. Movie 649 for 10 minutes, and this will be a real in-depth podcast.
For
Let's
sure.
do it.
Okay, my 649, The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou from Wes Anderson, 2004. It's a Wes Anderson movie. It's got the storybook look. It's pretty great. A little awkward. Not my favorite Wes Anderson movie, but all of his movies, for the most part, are good. And so this one landed on the list.
For a long time, that was my favorite Wes Anderson movie.
Nice. It's definitely a good one.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Okay.
My 649 also has a boat. It's Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl. But that's also my old 575. So we're not going to talk about that anymore. Instead, we're going to talk about my new 512, which Zach will probably find this a little shocking, is Brick,
What?
the Rian Johnson film. Yes. Now, I've only seen this movie once, and that's when it came out.
Brick is my number 5, and Once is my number 4.
Yeah. There we go. Brick Once. Yeah. I only saw this movie once, and I had no pretext to what was like the setup of this movie when I saw it. So I need to give this movie a second chance, because I think half the time I spent thinking to myself, like, why are all these kids talking like they're in a 1940s, boilerplate detective story? But once your brain wraps around what's happening, and this movie's been discussed on the podcast a lot, it's quite clever, and it's great performances from everyone involved. So currently my 512, maybe before we do our top 800, I'll rewatch it and I'll get a bump, hopefully closer to 1.
That would be fantastic. Wouldn't that be wonderful if it got a little bump?
What if it was my new number 1? I was like, wow, I can't believe I've been sleeping on Brick all these years.
Yeah. Okay. My 649 is a movie called Christine from 2016. This is a narrative film starring Rebecca Hall and Michael C. Hall, unrelated, I believe. And it is based on a true story of a woman who had a dramatic day while on live TV.
That's underselling it.
Yes. Based on a true story. There's also a documentary about this that is also very good. But I thought Rebecca Hall's performance was great. And I was kind of fascinated by this story when I saw this and the documentary. So I think it's worth watching. Christine with a C.
Nice. My number 648 is from 2010. It's Beautiful. Biutiful. This is directed by Alejandro Gonzalez Inarritu, who has directed a bunch of things that a lot of people like. We're talking Birdman and The Revenant and Not Bardo, but that one was interesting, if not great. Beautiful's a great drama, though, with like a little bit of like a mystery edge to it, I would say. It stars Javier Bardem as a guy who is dying of, I forget what disease, prostate cancer. And he is basically just trying to make sure everything is sewn up for his inevitable demise. And so that's where I'm going to leave it, because this movie has lots of like weird little twists and turns, and kind of selling it like it's a thriller. It's not. It's more drama for sure, but really well acted, fast paced, despite the fact that not a whole lot is going on. It was nominated for 2 Academy Awards, Best Foreign Language that year and Best Actor for that year. And if you haven't seen it and you're a fan of Inarritu, you should get to it.
Nice.
Yeah.
My 648 is a new movie to this list, and it is Seven from, I believe, 1995. This is a David Fincher film about Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt investigating a serial killer who is killing people via the 7 deadly sins. And this is a really dark movie, and it's a tough movie to watch, but I think it's an incredibly well done movie that builds some great atmosphere and has I don't know if it's a twist ending. It has an unexpected ending, which has been memeified to this point, but if you have not seen Seven before, the ending is still pretty shocking. And it's I think there was a lot of crime investigative murder movies coming out in the 90s. Even like Morgan Freeman was in a ton of them. And this one rose above the rest of the crop. Like, people don't talk about Bone Collector or Kiss the Girls or all the other ones that were, coming out as often as they do Seven.
Cool. My 648 has already been mentioned on last episode. It is A Quiet Place. This is the directorial debut of John Krasinski, starring his wife and himself. And I liked this high concept thriller. It's a thriller, right? Not a horror movie. Is it a horror movie or a thriller?
It has horror elements to it.
It's both.
Okay. I liked it as a thriller. Parts of it, it's a little. You got to go with the conceit, right?
Mhm.
There's there's you could pull at some threads if you're annoyed by the universe or the choices or those kind of things. But if you just go with it, it's a fun high concept premise, well executed, and I enjoyed the moments, and it was good. I still have not caught up with the sequel, although I do own it on Blu-ray. So at some point, I need to catch up with it.
What about the prequel?
Do you know I was given it? Sorry, I correct myself. I own it on 4K, and I was given it as a handout at like one of those like parking lot fairs for kids where they like give out candy, to promote like the local karate store and that kind of thing.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
and one was a radio station and they're just giving out 4Ks of random movies.
That's wild.
Where
Yeah.
most people like, what do I do with this?
Yeah, but I got the sense that not a lot of people were taking them.
Oh,
Mm.
okay. Did you walk by and then send Julie by also to go grab one?
No.
Oh,
No. Although I do have a standing rule with Julie when we're at like Costco
Yeah.
that whether she wants a sample or not to take one.
And then
Oh,
give
we
it
take
to
the
you.
sample. Yeah.
Give it
Yeah.
to you if she doesn't want it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Because odds are I do want a second sample.
You'll double up with the samples.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice.
Is there a rule against doubling up? Like if you just
No.
went in for another one?
No, it's just a social uncomfortable.
Maybe there's a
Norm.
societal rule.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't want to get a side eye from the lady.
I mean, maybe you need a second pass at it, to confirm whether you liked it or not.
Here's the thing. I'm susceptible to buying things that are tasty in the the sample aisle
Sure.
for sure.
Absolutely.
I'm not beyond that.
I just do the take and walk. I don't need the spiel. I can read.
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
rudely
I-
walk away when people are talking to me too.
I'm polite.
Oh, good for you guys.
I'm saying I'm with you. All right. Speaking of rudely walking away, my 647 is from 2015. It's Amy, which is a documentary about Amy Winehouse. And is one of those documentaries where when people say, I don't like documentaries, I say, yes, you do. You haven't seen Amy. Because everybody loves this movie. It's awesome. The other thing that this movie does very well is make you empathetic for Amy Winehouse, which, if you remember at the time, not many people were empathetic to her because the press presented her as a junkie, basically an ungrateful junkie for as far as her position in pop music. And, might be revisionist history. I don't know where the truth lies. All I know is after I watched this movie, I was like, oh, everything I thought about Amy Winehouse was correct. But now I know the context of why she was presented that way. And I have a context for just how much of an artist she actually was. A troubled artist for sure, but a great artist as well. And it made me a fan. I started listening to her well after her death, after I watched this documentary. It's really good, and everybody should check it out if they get the chance.
Nice.
It is a good documentary.
I've never seen it, but I don't like documentaries, so.
Okay.
My 647 is my old 574. That's Shadow of a Doubt. So instead, my new 509 is Crank. This is a 2006 movie starring Jason Statham. He plays a guy named Chev Chelios, which is maybe the greatest name in cinema history. Can debate that. And he is a hitman who wants to get out of the game. But so he botches a job and wakes up in the morning and finds out that there's essentially a poison in his system that's going to kill him unless he can keep his heart rate at an elevated level until he can find an antidote. So this whole movie is him just trying to not let his heart rate drop. It's like Speed, but instead of a bus, it is a human being with a heart. And this movie it's wild. Everything he does in this movie to keep his heart rate up is hilarious and out of this world. And this whole movie is kind of has like this sort of zany handheld camera look to it. It's sort of early digital, so it's got this. It very much feels like a movie from the 2000s. It sits right in that world. But Jason Statham is so committed to the bit of playing this guy who cannot get his heart rate down that you can't not have fun with this movie.
Yeah, Crank's so much fun.
Yeah, it was a movie for years. I was like, Crank, that's not for me. And then I watched it. I'm like, oh, this movie's incredible. What am I thinking?
Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome. All right, my 647 is Booksmart, directed by Olivia Wilde, starring Caitlin Dever and Jason Sudeikis, I think, is in it, and Lisa Kudrow is in it.
Yeah.
And I think this is really funny. It's a two high school girls in like kind of a comedy. And yeah, I think it's great. This is like has like a modern sensibility, but also nostalgic for the type of comedies that came out in like the 80s. So it kind of achieves both in a way that is just nostalgic and fun. And I think it's really well made. And I've only seen this movie once, but I still remember a number of scenes very vividly, and that is to its credit. So Booksmart.
Love that movie.
Every time you say I've only seen this movie once, I assume you're referring to the movie Once. Like, I've only seen this movie. It's called Once.
Yeah.
He's only seen
Like,
one movie.
Zach always bringing it back to Once.
Yeah.
Exactly.
My number 646 is from 2013. It's another documentary. I have a subsection going right now, the documentary section. This one is Blackfish, which I think it's on somebody's list, right? Did somebody mention it last week? I don't remember. Point is, Blackfish is about whaling in Japan, and dolphin hunting in Japan, right?
Blackfish is about whale. I thought it was about
Blackfish about SeaWorld.
SeaWorld.
You're thinking about like the Death Cove, whatever it's called. That's about
You're right.
whaling.
Blackfish is specifically about killer whales.
In
right?
SeaWorld.
In SeaWorld.
In
specifically.
Yeah. Or marine parks, but
Are
focusing
you
on
thinking about the
SeaWorld.
one where they follow the dolphins
Yes.
into the Japanese cove?
Yeah, it's called like the Cove or something like that.
That is what I'm thinking, but I did mean to put Blackfish here.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Nice.
This one's about SeaWorld. You're right. Great movie. Very effective. So effective that they literally changed the course of how SeaWorld does business. And SeaWorld has now taken a decades-long plan to ethically eliminate the use of animals in their shows. Whatever that means. That was their statement. And so they've worked on that, and they've slowly reduced the amount of killer whales they have in all of their theme parks and focused them more on rides instead of the animal-based shows. And it was so effective at affecting SeaWorld's bottom line that SeaWorld lied to investors about how much it hurt them, and then had to settle a lawsuit from the investors for lying about just how far in the negative it had put them, which I think is wild. Never heard of a documentary doing that to like a giant corporation, but they did.
Supersize Me.
Supersize Me probably had a big effect on McDonald's.
It got rid of the supersize option.
Did it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't remember that. I mean, I knew they got rid of it. I just didn't know it was directly correlated. Go ahead, Zach.
James, don't you think for journalistic integrity you should disclose anything?
I formerly worked at SeaWorld for 3 years of my life when I was a teenager.
Yep. And so I think it's really coloring your review of the movie.
Is it? I mean, I am pro Blackfish, and I don't want the SeaWorld to have animal shows anymore. So
all right, I'm just saying you're captured.
I don't know if
big fish.
I don't know if it's coloring anything,
Big
but
fish. Wow. Me thinks one doth protest too much.
for the
All
record,
right.
though, I don't think the people who started SeaWorld or maintained it are bad people. I think they were misguided, and once it was shown that they were misguided, they pivoted. I'm talking about the people who work with the animals and care for the animals, not executives.
All right. My 646 is my old 573 Kong Skull Island. So instead, I want to talk about my new 507 Captain America: The Winter Soldier. This is a Marvel movie. It is a Captain America movie. Sometimes I don't know what to say about these movies. They're good movies.
Yeah.
Like, especially one that everyone has probably seen and one that
No,
most people think is like a top Marvel.
I just think it's hilarious that your 646 is just a Marvel movie. Great.
They got to
my
go
507.
somewhere. They got to go somewhere.
Oh,
Go
yeah,
somewhere.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
So Captain America Winter Soldier, it's like a political thriller from the 70s. Robert Redford's in it, R.I.P., who, was huge in that era of doing political thrillers. The Winter Soldier's in it. Bucky Barnes is pretty great. Oops, spoiler alert, by the way.
Yikes.
Yeah. It's good. It's good.
All right. Well, now that we're done talking about his popcorn flicks, my 646 is from 2008. And it stars Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. This is Iron Man from 2008.
Wow, wild that you have a Marvel movie right here.
Directed by Jon Favreau. This is the original Iron Man, which I liked. I remember seeing it in the theater and being like, this is super cool.
Yeah.
And look what it started. It started a whole lot. This movie just made billions and billions upon billions of dollars as a result of this movie coming out.
Oh yeah,
right?
for Disney and for Marvel. Yes.
For sure. The avalanche it started. Right. I'm probably Iron Man itself made what 2 Bs, I don't know, but it caused 50 Bs to be generated at some point.
Yeah, it was a proof of concept that was wildly successful.
Yeah, for sure. And it's made Robert Downey Jr. Do you think he's a billionaire?
No.
Probably.
Not because
No?
of movies.
I think that he might be because he's in some other 2 more movies or whatever. And I think he got paid $70 million just to appear in those movies, those 2 movies.
Are you talking about the Sherlock Holmes?
No. What's the one where he plays Dr. Doom?
Oh, the one coming up, like
Yeah.
Avenger Doomsday?
Yeah.
Okay.
He got $70 million to be in that role, is what I heard.
Wow.
So if he's getting that kind of thing, he's got to be a billionaire, don't you think?
If he's investing it correctly.
Well, he's notoriously very responsible with his free time.
I think he's responsible now. He wasn't responsible 20, 25 years ago with his money.
According to the internet, his estimated net worth is $300 million.
No, he's worth more than that.
I mean, you guys have not taken like 50% taxes out of these things. You know what I mean?
We tax the rich too much. That's poor.
I'm just saying, just because somebody gets paid
Poor
$75
guy.
million doesn't mean they take home $75 million.
Okay. I admit defeat.
All right. 645. What Richard Did, 2012. This was recommended to us by a listener. I don't remember who. This was a decade ago, probably. This is directed by Lenny Abrahamson, who also directed Room, which is a movie all of us on this podcast like. This movie also stars Jack Rayner, who's a guy that a lot of people on this podcast like. He's from Sing Street. That's what it's called. Great actor. And what Richard did is he's very young in this movie, and he accidentally kills somebody at a party. And it affects him, right? Clearly. And that's what the movie's about, is this young person who accidentally killed somebody, dealing with the fact that he accidentally killed somebody, having his family, his parents deal with the fact that he accidentally killed somebody, and all of his friends who were friends with the other guy as well. And just a very complicated situation, expertly portrayed in this great drama, What Richard Did. It's a hard movie to watch, but really good.
Sounds challenging.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. My 645 is my old 572, Murder by Death. So instead, I'm talking about my new 506, and this is a documentary called Tower from 2016. This documentary is about the University of Texas Austin Tower Massacre that occurred in 1966, which is the first modern mass shooting in America. I think is probably the safest way to put that. What happened is a sniper went up into this clock tower on campus and just started shooting at people and killing them. And this documentary explores that day, but it's not exploring it through like who's this killer, why is he doing it? Because it's like when we don't know why people do these things. Instead, this movie is focused on, or this documentary is focused on the victims, the people who were there, the students, the police officers, the professors, that were experiencing that day, where they had no concept of what a mass shooting is. They don't know how to react to it. And a lot of these people are kind of processing what happened that day 50 years ago, through this documentary, something that they lived through. This movie is told through a combination of archival footage and pictures, because there weren't a ton of cameras back then, as well as rotoscoped reenactments. So you'll hear someone talking about how they were running across campus to get to cover, and they'll have like a rotoscoped actor recreating that. So you're not just getting a talking head the whole time. They're trying to give you a little bit of kinetic energy to it without having to do like a straight recreation. I think it's a really good documentary. It's a really effective documentary. And it definitely addresses a huge issue that we have in America.
Man, I gotta go watch Tower again.
Tower's a good one.
Yeah.
Tower's really good. Okay, my 645 is a movie I don't think either of you have seen. It is a Romanian documentary called Infinite Football from 2018. Infinite Football. I've talked about it on the show before. But this is a funny and charming documentary that is more than meets the eye. There's a little bit more depth than just the surface explanation. But essentially what it is there's a guy that has in Romania that has decided that the rules of soccer, football, need to be updated. That the game can be improved. And I love the audacity of someone that thinks that the most popular game in the world and the history of the world is flawed and he can fix it. But when you go a little bit deeper, you find out he basically injured his leg playing soccer as a kid. And it was because he was kind of like cornered on the field, and another player, there's a lot of players around him, and they accidentally kicked his foot trying to get the ball and broke his leg. And so the rules that he has to fix football are like taking away the corners from the field and keeping people in certain parts of the field so they can't all, show up in one spot and accidentally break someone's leg. And there's also this like subtext of communism, with how Romania, how it's changed over time or not changed over time, with the revolution and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I find it funny and fascinating and a great character study. I think it is a super interesting, breezy 70-minute documentary called Infinite Football.
Nice. I'm into it. I need to watch that. 644 from 2011. We're talking Fast Five, the fifth film in the Fast and Furious franchise. Also the best Fast and Furious movie out of all of them, in my opinion. This one's great. First movie with The Rock in it in the series. It has two amazing action sequences, I would say, in the favela chase and the safe dragging through the city scene. Also is kind of, Fast and Furious 4 is kind of the reboot for Fast and Furious, but I feel like 5 is when they like really figured out the formula. And from here on, the formula gets a little ridiculous. This one kind of feels like a little ridiculous, but still a little grounded, like the previous iterations of the series. It's like right on the verge of them becoming superheroes, essentially. And for those reasons, I enjoy this one the most. Fast Five.
It's the best one.
Agreed.
I concur. My 644 is my old 571, White Chicks. But new to my list at 496 is But I'm a Cheerleader. This is a 1999 movie, which I believe I talked about on a Top 10 Last 10 not too long ago, so I won't go into too much depth. But this movie stars Natasha Lyonne as a cheerleader of conservative parents, and her parents are convinced that she is gay, so they send her to a conversion therapy camp that's run by Kathy Moriarty and RuPaul. And this movie sounds on its setup like it's dreary and miserable, but it's actually a pretty clever yet dark satire of conversion therapy, of masculinity, of um, gender roles. So throughout this whole movie, it's poking fun at all these ideas of like, this is what a boy looks like, this is what a girl looks like, this is how they interact. And I think one reason why this movie has become so popular, especially like in the queer community, is because it is a positive movie. Even though it's dealing with heavy subjects, there is a positive look to it. There is a humorous look to it. It also is presented in a like, even though this movie was shot in 1999, all the colors are like super blown out. The decor is different. Everyone's kind of dressed like maybe they're in the 50s. So this movie has a timeless feel to it. You could watch it now and it doesn't feel like, oh, this movie came out 30 years ago, because it doesn't, no one's wearing period appropriate clothing. It just sort of has its own aesthetic look to it. So I would say if you're looking for a good queer based movie that's not just going to be misery, but I'm a Cheerleader, is worth checking out.
Nice. Very nice. What number are we on? What this is my 644. It's called The Return. From 2024, and this is the Ralph Fiennes, Juliette Binoche Odyssey movie. So Ralph plays Odysseus, returned to Ithaca after his 20 years lost at sea, finds his wife being courted by a number of rude suitors. And so he infiltrates them, pretending to just be a beggar, challenges them to a game of skill, and then slaughters everybody. And I watched this movie straight off of finishing the Odyssey for the first time, and I really enjoyed it. I mean, it's really great acting. It's fun to see everything on screen. It also made me excited for Christopher Nolan's Odyssey movie that's coming up. And so I think The Return was great and well done, and it gave visuals to what I had read, so I thought it's really good.
Nice. My 643 is from 2009. It is Drag Me to Hell, which is directed by Sam Raimi. It's a supernatural horror film. Starring Justin Long, amongst others. Justin Long's the only name that I recognize. And I mean, it's a Sam Raimi horror movie. I don't know what to say about it other than it's kind of his return to horror after doing, superhero films is in the interim between Spider-Man movies and other types of movies. He started making like Wizard of Oz sequels and stuff like that were garbage. But for some reason, he directed this one in the middle, Drag Me to Hell. It's a very weird, quirky horror film, I would say. But if you like the Evil Dead movies, this feels like an extension of that filmmaker for sure. And I enjoy it.
My 643 is a 1939 French film directed by Jean Renoir called The Rules of the Game. This movie is a social satire that takes place at a French country chateau for the weekend, where the bourgeoisie have all gathered. They're holding a big party. There's hunting, there's food, there's drink. And this movie is kind of poking fun at the rich French society of this era, especially in the face of what was happening in Europe with fascism. That's kind of a background sort of subplot that's happening. And you're also getting sort of the view of the help. So there's a bit of an upstairs, downstairs twist to this movie. So it's in French. It's 90 years old. Yeah, 90 years old. But I found this movie to be quite funny and to be quite on point with the social commentary.
Cool. Very cool. My 643 is Ghostlight from 2024. This is a great, quiet little movie about family and a connection. It's played by it's about a father, a mother, and a daughter, played by a real life father, mother, and daughter. And I think only one of them is actually an actor, and the rest are like untrained actors. And they give such good, authentic performances. It's really kind of a special thing. And yeah, it's about acting, and it's about family. It's great. It's called Ghostlight. We've talked about it on the show quite a bit, but I really like it.
That's a great one. My my number 642 from 2010 is Birdemic: Shock and Terror, which is a famously so bad it's good movie. One that I saw when I was kind of mainlining a bunch of these types of movies, and it definitely stood out as one that was worth my time. I really enjoyed watching this movie for probably all the wrong reasons. It's really badly acted. The plot is silly. The effects are just amazingly terrible. And the only reason it works is because as you watch it, you can just feel the confidence of the people participating just oozing out of the screen that they are making something that's really good. And they're really not, but they did make something that's entertaining. And for that, they should be applauded. My number 642.
My 642 is my old 570, which is Steven Spielberg's West Side Story. So instead, we'll talk about my new 490, The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. This is a 1920 silent film in the German expressionist movement, and it is about a traveling salesman doctor, or a traveling showman, we should put, who comes to a small town, and he has a show he puts on with a somnambulance. Essentially, this guy who is always asleep, and he's sort of like this freak show, like come see the man who's always asleep. But he's able to command this person to do things, and he uses this person to commit murders in the town at night, and sort of causes this whole panic in the town. And this movie is considered one of the first horror films. It's very well shot with this whole German expressionist look to it, where there's no straight lines, there's no right angles. All the buildings, all the sets are at weird askewed angles. And it's this kind of movie where you watch this and you're like, oh, Tim Burton loves this style. Like Tim Burton must have watched a ton of this era of movies to develop his own style, because you see so much influence in there. I had a chance to see this last year, actually about a year ago, in a theater with a live organist, and it was a really cool experience. And I think it's my first time I'd actually seen a silent film like as it was intended to be seen.
Nice.
When they were made, so it was pretty cool. Yeah, took Galen to it also. He was really impressed by it.
That sounds amazing. My 642 is North by Northwest from 1959. This is an Alfred Hitchcock film with Cary Grant, and it's Hitchcock's really good. I like him a lot. This one is less like twisted than some of his more famous films. You know, like Psycho is pretty twisted. Rear Window is pretty twisted. What's his most famous one? Vertigo is very twisted.
Yeah.
This one's a little bit more straightforward. It's basically Cary Grant's mistaken for a spy, and then it gets chased around. And it's got some very, very famous visuals towards the end. He's climbing Mount Rushmore, and he's being, he ducks under that crop duster. But it's a good movie. I really enjoyed it.
Would you consider The Birds twisted?
No.
Okay. Fair enough. I was just curious.
Would you?
No, not really.
Okay. Speaking of twisted, though,
my number 641 is from 2003. It is, speaking of Tim Burton, Big Fish.
Who's speaking of Tim Burton?
Kyle just talked about Tim Burton.
Who's Kyle?
Oh, I mean, Senor Cinema.
Thank you.
Sorry about that. It'll never happen again. Yeah, Big Fish. Great drama. Famously known for being the acting debut of Miley Cyrus. That's all you really need to know about it. Check it out.
Really? This is her acting debut?
She's in Big Fish?
What do you mean? You guys didn't notice that the first time you saw it? Come on.
I don't think
That's
I
why-
knew who
that's why
Miley
everybody-
Cyrus was when this movie came out.
That's why everybody likes Big Fish, is Miley Cyrus's performance in it, clearly.
Not everybody likes Big Fish.
Well,
I can
everybody
get
who
one
knows
guy
what's
that
up.
does not.
Well, I'll need to watch it again and keep my eye out for Miley.
All right. Fair enough.
Right. My 641 is Slumdog Millionaire from 2008. So this is a Danny Boyle film starring Dev Patel. Dev Patel plays I think he's like a chai boy, like a tea boy who works, at an office in India, who gets his way onto the Indian version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. And he is doing very well on the show because he can reference all these moments in his past, in his life, that kind of inform his answers to the show. So half this movie is kind of him like having a memory of something that happened, and then that's how he knows the answer to the trivia question. And then it's also like a movie about someone going higher than what they expect to be achieved. He's expected to be like, sort of a poor kid who's never going to go far in life. And in this case, he's able to advance his way through Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. It's a good movie. Introduced America to Bollywood.
Yeah,
Nice.
probably did.
Yeah.
My 641 is Star Trek from 2009. This is the second Star Trek film on my 600 to 700. This is the J.J. Abrams reboot starring Chris Pine. And I think this is a fun movie. I liked it. I like this reboot. I thought it brought fresh energy, a good crew. I liked the sensibility. The latest reboot I thought was terrible, but up until that, I was enjoying them quite a bit. So
The latest reboot
of Star Trek, I think the third one
Oh, okay. Beyond.
was really bad. Was it? Yeah, that one was
Yep.
really bad. But the first one was good.
Yeah. The second one's good, even better, in my opinion. But that third one, ugh. All right. We are 1/5 of the way there.
Oh, boy.
With my number 640, Animal Kingdom from 2010. This is an Australia set movie about a Melbourne, Australia crime family. In crime family, things happen, but this is not like your typical cliche Italian crime family, right? Because this is an Australian crime family. There's no Italians in Australia. Everybody knows that. And this cast is amazing. You're talking Ben Mendelsohn, Joel Edgerton, Guy Pearce, Jackie Weaver, amongst others. Kind of a who's who of great Australian actors of the time. And it's great drama and a great crime thriller. If you're into those and you haven't seen this one, check it out.
Right. My number 640 is a Brazilian film from 2002 called City of God. This movie takes place in Rio in the 70s as the favelas were getting more and more violent. And it follows two friends, one who wants to kind of get out of the favelas and stay above it. He becomes a journalist and is trying to like document what's happening in his neighborhood and the changes that are happening. Then the other friend just goes full in on the drug crime lord aspect of it and just, immerses himself in this new crime aspect of his neighborhood. And it's a really good movie about like just two young men going on two different paths at a moment of inflection for Brazilian history.
Yep. Absolutely. Speaking about a moment of inflection, my 640 is a movie called 50-50 from 2011. And this stars Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Seth Rogen and Anna Kendrick and Bryce Dallas Howard. But it's primarily Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Seth Rogen. And it is about their friendship as they deal with JGL going through cancer. And so it's a comedy about someone going through cancer, and it's really, really good. It's handled very well. It's funny. It's poignant. It was way better than it should have been or could have been, and I liked it a lot. So, and it's directed by Jonathan Levine, who has done other things that are interesting. So.
All right.
I remember that Anna Kendrick plays the grief counselor, like the therapist. Who does Bryce Dallas Howard play?
I thought Anna Kendrick played the girlfriend that broke up with him when she found out he got cancer.
I think that's maybe Bryce Dallas Howard plays that role, because I remember Anna Kendrick playing
okay.
like the therapist.
Okay. Then that.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Before I jump into my 639, I just want to mention that City of God, which Kyle just talked about, is my number 6th favorite movie of all time.
It's a good movie.
I love that movie. For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. We know you love it, James, from how much you mention it constantly on the podcast.
Do I really?
Never.
Oh, I don't bring that up.
No.
Never.
I love that movie. So good. 639 from 2009, Bad Lieutenant: Port of Call, New Orleans, which is a movie directed by Werner Herzog, starring Nicolas Cage and Eva Mendes. It's set during Hurricane Katrina. It's partially set during Hurricane Katrina. And Nicolas Cage is a detective who is also a coke addict, amongst other drugs. And he is tasked to track down some people doing some not good things during the hurricane itself and a little bit in the aftermath. And I would say it's an unhinged detective story. And it's a wild movie. Werner Herzog doesn't direct too many non-documentaries. It didn't direct too many non-documentaries this late in his career. This is one of them. And if you haven't seen it, it has to be seen to be believed. Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans.
My 639 is our first bingo of the show. Blackfish.
Nice.
Wow.
No notes.
No notes.
Nothing to add. I think
Have you-
James got it all.
Nice. Okay. My number 639 from 1994 is The Three Colors: White. This is the one of the Three Colors trilogy by Krzysztof Kieslowski. And I love this trilogy. I think all three movies are masterpieces. This is probably my least favorite of the three.
Yeah.
Just because blue is incredible and red is right behind it. But white is also very good. And this one stars a very, very young Julie Delpy.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's great. I certainly recommend watching all three of the Three Colors trilogy for sure.
This is like the revenge one, right?
Yeah, it's a little bit different vibe than the other two.
It's definitely the darkest of the three. Yeah.
But still worth watching.
My 638 is from 2019. It's Little Women, which is directed by Greta Gerwig and stars Saoirse Ronan and Emma Watson and Florence Pugh, Timothée Chalamet, Laura Dern, Bob Odenkirk. There's a bunch of people in this movie. It's so good. I love this movie. I've seen it 3 times since it came out in 2019, and I would watch it again right now. I don't necessarily think Little Women movies are targeted for my age and gender. I haven't seen all adaptations of Little Women, but I've seen a couple of them, and I was just like, okay, it's a movie. Whereas this one just really stuck with me. I thought it was really well executed, interesting way to tell the story, great performances, perfect costumes, perfect execution. I loved it. Little Women.
Agreed.
Nice. Good. My 638 is my old 569, The Green Mile. But at 488, a new movie to my list is Rashomon from 1950, directed by Akira Kurosawa. This is the story about a crime that is witnessed by 4 people in a glade, and each person has a different account of what actually happened to that crime. And it's a very famous, very influential movie. You hear a lot of references like, oh, it's very Rashomon storytelling. And I think everyone should see this movie because it is incredible.
It is incredible. It's worth the hype for sure.
Oh, yes, lives up to the hype.
Yes, it's a better movie than my 638 from 2015, Sicario, which is the second Emily Blunt film I have in a very short order. And this is it's about FBI agents in their war on drugs at the U.S.-Mexico border. It's got a couple amazing scenes that are worth watching for those
Yeah.
alone. Benicio del Toro's great in it. Josh Brolin's great in it. It's directed by Denis Villeneuve, who's such a good director. So yeah, Sicario. Watch it.
That's a great one. 637 we're on. And for 637, I have from 1951, Ace in the Hole, which I recently
nice.
recently watched on Criterion. It was a blind buy for me, and it paid off. I thought this was great. It's a cool story about a mine and a reporter. A reporter that's reporting on this mine. Like mine as in a place that people dig materials out of. And he's a reporter who wants people to read his stories, and he has a hard time morally with some of the sensationalizing he's doing of the story once he gets to know the actual people involved in the story. And I just thought it was really well presented. I felt like it held up despite being typically a movie in an era that I don't tend to like, black and white movies. And this one did it for me. I thought it was great. Check it out.
It's good. My 637 is a movie that James recommended to me because for a long time I said I don't like Jesse Buckley movies. And James said, well, you have not seen 2018's Wild Rose. Well, I have seen it now, and it made my top 700. This movie stars Jessie Buckley. She plays a troubled woman. She's sort of a drug addict who has an incredible singing voice, and she wants to make it big in Nashville. So she kind of leaves her child and her life behind in, I think, Scotland, to go to Nashville to become a star. And it's the kind of movie where you're rooting for her. You want her to succeed. You want her to do the right thing. But she's the character that keeps making bad choices. And you're just like, oh, like why? Why can't you just make the right choice? But Jessie Buckley plays it so well. And this movie had some surprises that I did not expect in it. And it turned me around on Jessie Buckley. I'm coming around on her. And I think this movie helped with that turn. So thank you, James.
You're welcome.
That's great. That's great. My 637 is Silence, which I believe was on someone's list last episode. It's another Martin Scorsese film for me, and this movie is very interesting. I had read the book before seeing this film, and there's a lot of like ethical and philosophical ideas to wrestle with while dealing with the plot of this film. And it stars Andrew Garfield and Liam Neeson, and Adam Driver, and everyone gives good performances. And it's basically, them struggling with what is the right thing to do in an impossible situation. How do they stay true to their beliefs without compromising them, and while also doing the least amount of harm? And it's a good treatment. I like when Martin Scorsese gets dives into his like Catholicism. I think those always makes for very interesting films. So, Silence.
My number 636 is from 2009. It is Adventureland, directed by Greg Mottola, who also directed Superbad. This is a comedy, but it's more like a hangout comedy about a bunch of young people, late teens, early 20s, who work at a local theme park. And it's a vibe movie, I would say. I don't even really remember what happens in the movie. I just remember that I have good feelings about the movie, that I enjoyed it. Stars a lot of people you recognize, like Jesse Eisenberg and Kristen Stewart and Bill Hader. Ryan Reynolds is in this. Bunch of other people you'll probably recognize from that time period, that being 2009. And it's a good one. If you like, what's the movie? I Get Older and They Stay the Same Age. What's the name of that movie?
Oh, yeah.
It's Matthew McConaughey.
Right.
It's Richard Linklater. It's about kids in high school.
If you like that movie, you probably like Adventureland.
Dazed and Confused.
Dazed and Confused. Yeah.
Jeez.
Similar vibes, I would say.
My 636 is my old 568, Women Talking, which actually also has Jessie Buckley in it. So this must be my Jessie Buckley era.
This is your
Sweet
subsection.
spot.
Exactly.
And was on my list last week.
It was on your list last week also, correct. So I'm talking about a new one to my list, 484, The Nightmare Before Christmas. This is the Tim Burton produced stop animation movie. I believe Henry Selick was the director, but definitely
Tony Selleck.
Tony Selleck, that's his name?
No.
No, sorry, you're thinking Ridley Selleck. That's who did it.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is a movie that I saw several times when I was a kid and didn't really think about for a long time. And then my son started watching it a couple years ago and was really into it. And I watched it again. I'm like, oh, this is actually a good movie. I really like this. I like the presentation of Halloween Town and the coloring. The songs are catchy. The look to it is unique. I think this is sort of like kid-friendly horror where there are some creepy things that happen, but it's definitely accessible by kids. And upon some reflection, I'm like, you know what? This could be within my top 500. Slap it in there.
Nice.
Great. All right. My 636 is directed by the Coen brothers. It is The Ballad of Buster Scruggs from 2018. And this is a vignette of, I think, 6 different stories, some better than others, in the Wild West. And it's fun. There's some Coen brothers that I really enjoy, some that I don't. But this one has some very memorable vignettes. I thought it's well done. It's breezy. It goes by quick. It's easy to watch. I like this one quite a bit. It's got some good music in it. So yeah, and no one talks about it at all. I mean, it's a completely forgotten film, but The Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
I was going to say that's a movie I've not thought about in a long time.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's good though.
Yeah. All right. 635. We're talking Wonder Woman from 2017. You guys remember how great the first Wonder Woman movie was?
Yeah.
I mean, it was so fun, so refreshing in the DC universe to have a movie that was just fun and light and full of joy, I would say. Also kind of the not the acting debut, but like starring role acting debut for Gal Gadot.
Like the breakout for her.
Yeah, definitely the breakout. Chris Pine being super charming. Perfect score, right? Like I've criticized a lot of comic book films in the past for just having completely forgettable scores. You cannot say that about Wonder Woman. It was very specific about its score and still stuck in my head all these years later. And it's a real shame that like they followed it up with Wonder Woman 1984 and just kind of like the DC universe lost all gas. And yeah, it's kind of a one-off weird movie in the DC universe that I enjoy way more than most of the other ones, for sure. Wonder Woman from 2017.
My 635 is a recommendation from Zach. This is I believe it's an Italian film from 1964 called The Gospel According to St. Matthew.
Ooh, I didn't know you watched that.
Oh yeah. Oh, I really liked this movie.
Awesome.
So this is a Jesus Christ movie. And it's a New Testament movie, and it is following sort of Jesus as he's performing miracles and what he does in the New Testament. But this is a unique portrayal of Jesus. Usually when you see, when I see Jesus portrayed, I think kind of the stereotypical Jesus is not meek, but kind of quiet and sort of like, turn the other cheek. And this Jesus is portrayed as much more self-confident, much more self-righteous in the belief and be like, this is the way and this is how we should do things. And I just thought that was such a unique take on the Jesus character. Because obviously, I don't think we know what kind of personality he had. It's right. We can glean from it, but
it's right there in the book.
Does it say in the book, like, and he confidently looked at his apostles and said,
yeah.
Okay.
No, this is my favorite Jesus film for sure. The Gospel according to Saint. It's so good, and yeah, he plays like a revolutionary almost.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I would say this is not a good entry into Jesus films because you have to fill in a lot of gaps. Like the movies, again, this movie's more vibes at times. It's not like a straight telling of the story. But I think if you're familiar with the story of Jesus and you see other movies, this is a good one to pair with those.
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad that's on your list. That's super fun.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
looking at Letterboxd. You know what movie I watched after this?
No.
Life of Brian.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, that's a good
So,
pairing. That
I was
works.
probably like, I'm in a Jesus mood right now. Let's throw some Life of Brian in there.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay, my 635. Some people might say it's low because I think this movie just got picked as like the second greatest film of the 21st century by the New York Times, perhaps. But for me, it's my 635, Parasite by Bong Joon-ho. And this movie's good. It's good social satire. It's interesting and funny and dramatic, and it's all the things. And it's really good. And it's got a weird poster.
We've played this on my
Yeah.
kid could paint that. It's a hard poster to get for that game.
Is an odd poster,
It,
but
it really doesn't sell the movie unless you've seen the movie. Then the poster's
Sure.
really cool, but like that's not what posters are meant to be. They're meant to sell.
No,
people on the
this
movie.
poster references the movie. Yeah.
Right, for sure.
yeah. This movie has been seen by a lot of people on Letterboxd, and practically no one gave it a 2.5 or less. Like practically no one.
I think it's the most popular movie on Letterboxd.
Is that a fact?
I mean, I don't know. I will fact check. You keep talking. I will fact check myself.
Popularity changes constantly, but it is currently the most popular movie on Letterboxd.
I would say popularity changes constantly, but not those really popular ones. I think Parasite has been up there as most popular film for like the last 6 years.
Okay.
It used to be Dark Knight back in the day. Was always the top. But,
yeah, right.
Also, the movie that broke the 2-inch barrier and won Best Picture with subtitles. First movie.
Is that the 2 inch? Is that subtitles the 2-inch barrier?
Yep. They called it the 2-inch barrier. It broke it. All right, 634. This is a movie that Zach really likes from 2007. It's Once.
I do really like. I've already mentioned it several times.
Yep, which I've only seen once, and I'm gonna keep it that way in the spirit of the movie. No, I'm just kidding. I'll watch it again someday. Once is great. If you like movies with musicians, movies about musicians, it's great. If you like really good lead actor actress chemistry, it's great. If you like interesting cinematography, it's great. If you like hangout movies, it's great. If you like romance movies, it's great. This movie has a lot of great things going for it, and I really enjoyed my time with it. But don't take my word. Take the word of the now defunct Entertainment Weekly, who put it as number 3 most romantic film of all time.
When did Entertainment Weekly go out of business?
Well, I mean, I don't believe they're actually publishing anymore other than special editions that they put in supermarket racks.
Hoping to get that $5 to $7 from
I'm pretty sure you can't even get a subscription to it anymore.
Okay. My 634 2023 movie directed by Ridley Scott, Napoleon. This stars Joaquin Phoenix and Vanessa Kirby, and this is the story of Napoleon's rise to power and attempt to maintain that power. And I think this is Ridley Scott kind of returning to his epic form. This movie has some incredible battles that he orchestrates, which I really enjoyed. But I also liked the portrayal of Napoleon, where you saw a lot of it was the kind of relationship he had with Vanessa Kirby, who was his wife or his mistress. I can't remember exactly what their
wife.
It was wife. Okay, all right. And sort of the insecurities that possibly drove Napoleon to do what he did. So yeah, I thought this is a pretty good biopic.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, you
but-
didn't?
No, but I wasn't on that episode.
Okay.
But I'm super curious about it. I mean, it looks awesome, but I had like gone down a big rabbit hole in Napoleon and like learned a lot about him, and then all the historians were so up in arms about how bad the history was in Napoleon. Like they said it was like, you know, twice as bad as Braveheart, basically.
Okay.
Braveheart's great though.
No.
Historically.
Braveheart, the movie is good. Braveheart, the history, like actual history, is atrocious, apparently. Like it just everything is wrong in Braveheart as far as historical accuracy. The movie obviously is the best movie ever. But, okay,
Do you like Ridley Scott?
Yeah.
Do you like Joaquin Phoenix?
No,
Do you like Vanessa Kirby?
Yeah.
Okay, then you should see it.
but
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
what about Napoleon?
Do you
Well,
like
I mean-
Napoleon?
Go into it like you go into Braveheart. Be like, hey, this is going to be a good, historically inaccurate biopic.
Yeah.
Let's do it. My 634 is a movie that one of us doesn't like, and it's from 2020. It's called Kajillionaire.
Nope.
It's directed by Miranda July, who I think is one of our rare creative talents in our world today. She's a treasure that the world should embrace. Stars Evan Rachel Wood, and it's about a family of con artists and their very strange daughter that they use to run their scams. And it's so just like any Miranda July property, there's a lot of interesting things happening. And if you're along for the ride, it is a creative endeavor. And I enjoyed Kajillionaire a lot.
I liked it as well. My number 633 is from 2023. Speaking of biopics, Priscilla, which is about Priscilla Presley, the wife of Elvis Presley. This movie stars Kaylee Spaney and Jacob Elordi. Kaylee Spaney playing Priscilla Presley and Jacob Elordi playing Elvis. And it's just a really interesting, dramatic portrayal of the life of Elvis, of the wife of the wife of Elvis. And I don't know how much of it's super accurate, but it's an understated movie that kind of gives you the behind the scenes of the person who is behind the person, I would say. And her trying to be a good wife as far as what Elvis wants her to be versus taking care of him and watching out for him and making sure people don't take advantage of him and stuff like that. How much of that was just completely out of her hands. It's really well acted, really well made, directed by Sofia Coppola. If you like her movies, you'll know that this will not be fast paced, but worth it in the end. Priscilla.
Good pick. My 633 is my old 567, The Wild Bunch. But at number 482 is another Kaylee Spaney movie, 2024's Civil War. It's directed by Alex Garland. Also stars Wagner Moura and Kirsten Dunst. Those two plus Kaylee Spaney play war correspondents that are trying to document the ongoing civil war, fictional civil war that is happening in this version of America, where there is a president who is consolidating power and states have essentially rebelled against the president. And this movie is not what I expected, because I thought this movie would be more of like a war movie about like the Civil War of America, the modern Civil War. But instead, this movie is sort of a talk about journalism and its importance in documenting the truth. And it's done through the context of this fictional future, present, we're not sure, Civil War. This movie is very tense at times because you don't really know what's going to happen. And it's also a bit of a road movie where our characters are kind of traveling across the country, making their way to DC because they know something big's going to happen in DC soon. And can they be there for this moment? And can they survive this trip across a Civil War torn America? I'm a big fan of Alex Garland. For the most part, he can't miss with me, except for Men. That movie was, didn't help him or Jesse Buckley, in my opinion. But Civil War, for me, was a hit.
Yeah. My 633 is Spider-Man: No Way Home from 2021. Yeah, this is a fun movie. I like this movie. I don't have too much to say about it. It's a Spider-Man movie, but I liked it.
Is that the one with the timelines?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't like the way they name those movies. They're too close.
Agreed.
So I get confused.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Homecoming was clever.
Yeah, they should have just dropped it at that point
and then they stuck to the whole home thing and just got lamed. Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure. Hopefully the fourth one will not have anything like that, but it probably will. Go ahead. My 632, 2006, All the Boys Love Mandy Lane, which is a slasher movie, horror movie, directed by Jonathan Levine, and is the kind of the breakout movie for Amber Heard. It's like a low budget slasher movie, in which she kind of plays the it girl that all the boys love, the titular character Mandy Lane, and things happen around her just because she's attractive, I would say. People are dispatching each other on accident and on purpose, and she is just kind of existing in this world, and people are fighting over her. And I enjoyed my time with this movie. It's artistically made, but pretty violent for sure. So if that's not your bag, then maybe skip this one. But I enjoyed it. It's stuck in my brain, and had an interesting spin on the slasher film and like motivations of characters in a slasher film. I think that's probably why it stands out the most. So, All the Boys Love Mandy Lane.
Nice. My 632 is my old 566, The China Syndrome, but new to the list at 478 is Roadhouse. And this is the 1989 version of Roadhouse, not the 2024 version of Roadhouse. This movie stars Patrick Swayze as the world's best bouncer, who is brought into this a local Roadhouse bar to clean the place up and turn it into like the next big hotspot in the area. Because he has his ways, he is able to his sways. I'm not sure. I'll work on that one.
Mm-hmm.
He is able to turn the place around into a successful business until a local land developer is not happy with the success of this Roadhouse. They start to butt heads, come to odds. This movie this is perfect 80s camp, where it just hits that spot just right of like having these ridiculous fight scenes, incredible hair, great music cues, Patrick Swayze. Everything in this movie just works, even though it's kind of cheesy. It does it so well. It's so much fun. Sam Elliott's in it with an incredible mustache, as always.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go wrong.
Agreed. Yeah, it was on my list last episode.
It was. You're right.
Yeah. My 632 is from 2024. It's Miller's Girl. Miller's Girl. It stars Jenna Ortega and Martin Freeman. Jenna Ortega and Martin Freeman. And this is kind of a like a pulpy film. It's about a teacher and his like student, and they have like a forbidden like taboo like attraction to each other. And so it's like, what do they do with that kind of a thing? And I just thought this movie, first of all, had a really great performance by Martin Freeman. He's a comedian, from The Office or The Hobbit or whatever. But
Or that Christmas movie we watched.
Yeah. Yes. I thought he's really, really good in this role. Jenna Ortega, which I've never seen like Wednesday or anything, so I don't know her like most famous things, but she was really good in this as well. she has a best friend who's maybe like the worst performance of that entire year. It's a really bad performance, but otherwise, I found the movie to be very interesting and well acted. So it's called Miller's Girl from 2024.
Cool. That one's on my watch list. 631, Batman Begins from 2005. Everybody knows this movie. It's the setup to my 39th favorite movie, that being The Dark Knight. And it's a good setup film. Introduces you to all the characters. I liked the Scarecrow and kind of the effect around his quote unquote powers. And yeah, I enjoy this one. Batman Begins.
It's a good one. My 631 is my old 565 True Romance. However, new at 477, My Neighbor Totoro, or Totoro, however you want to pronounce it. This is a Miyazaki film from 1988. It's about a girl and her sister and father. They move out to the countryside to be closer to their mom, who's in the hospital, and they discover that their home is surrounded by all these benevolent forest spirits. And they go on adventures with said forest spirits. And this movie is very touching, very kid accessible. Even though there is this heavier underlying theme of the sick mom, it's really about these girls just trying to be kids and enjoy being in the forest and being all around all these fun little animals. It's cute, and I think you should see it, especially with your children.
Yeah. Well, my number 631 is Poor Things from 2023. This is a Yorgos Lanthimos film, and it's super well done. It's very, very good. Emma Stone and Mark Ruffalo's amazing in it. Anything Yorgos Lanthimos does is going to be interesting. I think it's just unavoidable. And yeah, Poor Things. It's part of Emma Stone's kind of new era of like challenging, interesting art house type cinema kind of a thing. And this one's super interesting, and the art direction's really good. And yeah, it's interesting. Poor Things.
They've got a new collaboration coming out too here in the next
think
couple
they do,
months.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think they do.
I can't wait.
Where
Yeah.
she's like kidnapped.
I don't remember.
Is it called Unknown or something like that?
Couldn't tell you.
Unknown. Okay.
You know what is known? My number 630 from 2004, $1 Million Baby.
Oh yeah.
This movie's great. It's awesome. I've only seen it once, but I need to see it again. Yeah, I mean, first of all, it won 4 Academy Awards: Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actor. I mean, that's pretty awesome.
Was Clint the supporting?
That's a good question that I don't have the answer for. No, Best Supporting for Freeman. For Morgan Freeman.
Not Martin. Okay.
Yep, not Martin Freeman.
Was that movie about euthanasia or was it about abortion? I don't remember.
Euthanasia.
It's definitely not about abortion from what I remember. It's
Why is it
boxing
called $1
and
Million
euthanasia.
Baby?
Because that's what her kind of like boxing, thing was.
That's her boxing name.
Yeah.
Her boxing name is $1 Million Baby?
Yeah, she was known as Mary Margaret $1 Million Baby Fitzgerald.
Can you say the last name one more time just so I hear it?
Fitzgerald.
Okay.
Fitzgerald. Okay.
Emphasis on the rolled. Got it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember the specifics of this movie because I watched it when it came out in 2004. It is now 22 years later, and I've not rewatched it. But I remember enjoying it. I remember specifics about the ending that we're not going to get into, and I remember it being good. So I put it on my list.
Love it.
Great. My 630 is my old 564 Bullet Train, but new to the list at 474, little movie called Lawrence of Arabia. This is a 1962 epic directed by David Lean, starring Peter O'Toole as the titular T.E. Lawrence. who during the First World War helped kind of unite the Arab people, and had a huge influence on the direction of politics within that region. For better or for worse, up for debate, but definitely an influential British soldier in the era. And this is a epic retelling of his saga. It's great. It's big. It is long. It looks great on 4K. Peter O'Toole is amazing in it. It is from 1962, so you have Alec Guinness and Anthony Quinn and Brownface doing voices and playing Saudi Arabian princes, which has not aged well. But that aside, this movie is pretty incredible.
Nice.
It could be a Braveheart situation where it's kind of, maybe giving him a little bit more credit than he deserves, but
right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My 630 is the new Superman. Came out in 2025. We talked about it recently. I thought this was really well done. I liked it a lot. It's a great reboot to the character.
My number 629 is from 2003. It's School of Rock, which is a comedy starring Jack Black as a music teacher who teaches a bunch of students, young people, how to rock and roll. I'm sure most of the people who listen to this podcast have seen School of Rock and probably love it as well. It's a very charming movie.
It is, for sure.
It is. My 629 is a 1942 movie called To Be or Not to Be. This movie takes place in Poland in the late 30s, maybe early 40s, when it's 1942, but this takes place a little before that, when the Nazis first occupied Poland. And it's based around a Shakespearean acting troupe that gets embroiled in a spy saga against the Nazis. And this movie, I would say, is a comedy satire about the Nazis and their push for power. And it's pretty incredible that this movie was made in 1942, when the Nazis were still at the height of their power, and already Ernest Lubitsch was kind of recognizing Lubitsch, thank you, the atrocity that was ahead of them, even though this movie handled it with a little bit more of the satire side of things. It's funny, it's very clever, and it's worth checking out.
Yeah. Okay, my number 629 is Attack the Block from 2011. This is a bunch of kids in the, like, I don't know what they're called, but like the projects in London or something like that. And then aliens attack. And I really like the alien design in this film. And John Boyega is great. This is my first introduction to him. And it's just a really great, smaller, like the world isn't ending. It's these kids are saving their block from alien attack. And it's great.
I agree. Such a great movie. Super fun. All right. 628, 2003. Memories of Murder from Bong Joon-ho. This is a relatively recent watch for me as well. Just trying to fill out the Bong Joon-ho movies that people talk about that I hadn't seen yet. And this one worked for me for sure. It's about a detective and his partner, and they're investigating a series of sexual assaults. And yeah, it's like a crime procedural thriller with like kind of a neo-noir presentation. I think what's most interesting about it is that it occasionally dips into comedy, but it's not laughing at things that we would traditionally laugh at in America, and yet it still translates. It worked for me. It didn't feel out of place at all, and is just very well made. I enjoyed it. If you like crime procedurals and you like Bong Joon-ho, check it out.
My 628 is a 2023 movie called Polite Society. This is about an Indian woman whose older sister is being married to an arranged marriage, and the younger sister believes something nefarious is happening and must stop this marriage, and does it via her martial arts training. So this is a heightened action movie where you have many martial arts scenes of women in beautiful saris doing kicks and flips and cartwheels, and kind of having this whole underlying subtext commenting on the arranged marriage part of that culture. It's also a very beautiful film to look at because all of these fight scenes are shot so lavishly within this very decadent Indian wedding.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. My 628 is Good Time from 2017. I can't believe this came out that long ago.
I know.
That,
Time
that feels
flies.
more recent than this. Yeah. It's a Safdie brothers film. I think it was my first introduction to the Safdie brothers. And stars Robert Pattinson. And I think he's trying to break his brother out of jail.
Mhm.
Anyway, this movie is really good. It's like, man, the Safdie brothers are really good. And especially Benny Safdie is awesome, especially in this film. Wow. But it just has a tense kind of urgency to it the whole time. And it's a vibe that very few movies can pull off really well, and this one does it so well. And so yeah, Good Time is worth the watch, especially if you like the Safdie brothers.
My number 627 is A Mighty Wind from 2003. This is a Christopher Guest movie. If you know anything about Christopher Guest, you know he generally directs mockumentaries about, specific subcultures. In this one, he is making a mockumentary about 60s folk singers, essentially. Since it's presented as a documentary, but it is, fiction. It it's really effective. I think if you didn't know, you might actually believe these bands existed and this actually happened. I mean, you probably have to remove some of the comedy from the film too. That probably would give it away. But very funny, very well executed. The whole gang's here, I would say, from the Christopher Guestiverse, and it's one that stands out in my mind as one of the better ones in this subgenre of movies. A Mighty Wind.
My 627 is Source Code from 2011. This movie stars Jake Gyllenhaal as an investigator who's placed into a time loop, let's put it that way, where he is continually reliving the last like 10 minutes of a train ride before it gets bombed. And he has to figure out who is the bomber with only these 10 minutes. So he keeps reliving the same moment over and over again, getting to know everyone on the train, and get blown up and then go back and do it again. And slowly he's putting more and more pieces of the puzzle together. I think it's a very clever movie, a kind of a clever take on the time loop genre. It also has its own little twists and turns towards the end of it too.
Totally. Yeah, that's such a great movie. My 627 is Under the Silver Lake from 2018. This is a neo noir starring Andrew Garfield, who's appeared on a number of my lists this episode. But it's really like every neo noir film where it's this meandering kind of like journey through LA, and everything is strange and mysterious and unknown, and he ends where he starts, and it's just really well done. And I tend to like this genre a lot, and this one's just kind of like strange and weird, and it's great. So Under the Silver Lake.
Nice. Yeah, how do you even describe that movie? I don't know.
Right.
My number 626 is from the year 2000, and it's called Aaron Brockovich. This is a biographical drama that deals with the legal system, lawsuits, essentially. Aaron Brockovich plays a single mother who is trying to provide for her kids, and she sees a wrongdoing in the world, and jumps at the opportunity to help a law firm pay out the people who have been wronged. I don't know. I'm getting too far into it. Aaron Brockovich, directed by Steven Soderbergh, starring Julia Roberts. She won an Oscar. I think maybe her only acting Oscar was for this movie, and it was well earned. She's very good in it. It also stars Albert Finney and Aaron Eckhart, amongst others. And if you haven't seen it, don't sleep on it, as I did for over 20 years. I think I slept on it for 24 years and then watched it and was like, I should have watched this a long time ago. This is great.
You wasted 24 years of your life.
I really did. It's
Yeah.
my biggest regret.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Well, I'm 25 years strong. I'm not saying Aaron Brockovich. I'm waiting for the hype to die down.
All right.
So I'm sorry. Unfortunately, James has put on his list of his 626. So
Mhm.
that's gonna set me back a couple months right there. My 626 is a 2019 movie called Portrait of a Lady on Fire. This movie takes place on an isolated island off the coast of France in the late, I believe it was 18th century. And there is a young woman on the island who is essentially being married off to a stranger. So her family hires another woman to come in and paint a portrait of her, so the stranger can get this portrait and say, "Oh, look, this is who your future wife is going to be in a couple of months." And this woman is, because she lives so isolated, she's kind of a recluse herself. Doesn't allow a lot of people into her life, but she forms a bond with this other woman who comes to do her portrait, and they develop a friendship and then an even stronger bond over the next couple of weeks as she is slowly working on making her wedding portrait. And this is just a really beautiful movie about love and friendship and people being able to express themselves in ways that they're not able to, especially in that society. And there's a haunting elements to this movie too. This movie is not a horror movie, but how they like film the cliffs, how they film people walking down candlelit hallways feel like shots out of a horror film. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, but I just found it to be such a unique presentation.
Nice. My 626 is a movie that the three of us watched together. And it was awesome. It was a fun experience to watch together. It was Sisu from 2022. This is a made up story based on real international events, but
Can you breathe a little more general?
International events.
Yeah, it's about a guy. What is he, Dutch or something, or
Finnish, Scandinavian.
Danish, yeah, something like that. He's Finnish.
Oh, that's right.
And-
Finnish is not Scandinavian. My
yeah.
bad.
He discovers gold, and he has to get it past Nazis that are like patrolling the area, right? And they discover his gold, and they want his gold, and he is like an angel of death, and he executes death upon the Nazis. It is just the most John Wick thing you could imagine in a World War II scenario, and it's really a fun time. So Sisu.
You excited for the sequel?
There's going to be a Sisu 2.
Like in the next
Yeah.
month.
Really?
I
Yeah.
think we had this conversation last episode. I think one of us also had Sisu on our list. So
Who had Sisu?
I believe I did last week.
You had Sisu, and now there's a Sisu 2.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Great.
I
Is it
saw the
called-
trailer. It looks like more of the same, which could be good or could be bad. We'll see.
Here's what I do not like is all of the posters have way too much color.
Oh yeah, no, Sisu is very drab.
Mhm.
It should be drab.
Yeah.
And these have a lot of color. And one of them really looks like an AI generated poster. It really looks that way.
Interesting.
So I don't know.
My number 625 is from 2017. It's Papillon, which is a this is a
Butterfly.
yeah, exactly. It's a prison movie about a real world guy named Henry something or other, French name, played by Charlie Hunnam, who was falsely imprisoned in 1933 in the notorious Devil's Island Penal Colony. So this is a prison escape movie, and it was really fun. It's this story has been told before. There's another famous movie, I think, from the 70s of the same name. I've seen both. They're both good. I prefer this one. just because it has more modern filmmaking style to it. But again, both good. If you like prison dramas and prison escape movies, then you should see this one, because that's what this is. The end.
The end. My 625 is a 2021 movie directed by Denis Villeneuve called Dune. And this is the first half of his adaptation of the famous Frank Herbert book. And I thought this movie was pretty incredible. A lot of sand. Pretty sure it's all real sand, James. Maybe some CJ sand thrown in there now and then, but
Well, that would make it not all real.
most of it was real. Definitely not my favorite sand movie of all time, but it's definitely one of my top sand movies of all time.
What is your favorite sand movie?
I'm maybe The Woman in the Dunes.
Oh, that's a good sand movie.
That's a good sand movie.
Not
Yeah,
Lawrence
okay.
of Arabia?
No, this movie's well, actually no, this movie's under Lawrence of Arabia, but I'm pretty sure Woman in the Dunes is above. Yeah, I mean, unless you count like Star Wars a sand movie because of Tatooine.
No, that's not a sand movie.
The first Star Wars is pretty sandy.
It's got a lot of sand in it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a movie with sand. I will give you that. It has sand.
But I feel like Dune's about the sand.
Yeah, Dune is a sand movie. and
Exactly.
Woman in the Dunes is a sand movie.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Star Wars is a movie with sand.
So Lawrence of Arabia is just a movie with sand.
No, that's a sand movie.
Yeah. Because they're fighting over the sand.
Yeah.
The
Every
sand is the
movie
territory
with
they want.
sand in it is a sand movie except for Star Wars.
Okay.
No, because the sand plays no role in Star Wars. It's a setting.
Right. You could make an argument perhaps for the prequels that sand plays a pivotal role in the memes about the prequels.
Oh, because it's coarse, it gets everywhere.
Yes.
Yes.
But no. Okay, my number 526 backwards is Anora from 2024. This is a romantic comedy between Mikey Madison and another guy, a Russian kid. Anyways, you're aware of this movie because it just came out. It's a Sean Baker film. Very well acted. Just very impressed by the performances that Sean Baker can get from actors and non-actors alike. And yeah, it's just incredible acted movie. So, and it's funny.
Nice. Before we get into my 624, I should mention that we are one movie over the halfway point on this sub-section of our broader lists.
Yeah. And what I love is we haven't lost our energy at all. We are all going on a 100% full tilt right now.
For sure.
No one's getting tired at all. That's the beauty of this.
No one
Yes.
woke up at 5 a.m. for swimming this morning.
Nope. Definitely not me.
No one got up at 4:30 in the morning for work this morning.
All right. My number 624 is Black Tar Heroin, The Dark End of the Street from the year
Oh, dear.
2000. Which is another documentary.
Are these movies or are you just naming things you like? I mean, what are we doing here?
What? I don't like Black Tar
My number
Heroin.
623, Speedballs. They're
Technically,
great.
this is me naming things I like, by the way, Zach. It's also you
That's what-
naming things you like. Kyle
622,
naming things he
Clowns.
Yeah. No, this is a documentary. It's a movie about heroin addicts, and it's a very brutal movie because they get to know the heroin addicts, and it humanizes people who are addicted to drugs. And so if you're a very callous person who thinks that everybody on drugs is just a loser who can't handle their own business and they're weak and that's why they're addicted, well, then you need to watch Black Tar Heroin, the Dark End of the Street, because if you have any heart at all, you will immediately get a new perspective on the idea of addiction and who it touches and what their backgrounds are and those types of things. It's just a really raw portrayal of people in the middle of a crippling addiction. Well worth a watch. But a
are
hard
there
watch.
different types of heroin and black tar is one type?
Black tar is the cheapest, most dangerous version of it.
Okay, there's like fancier types of heroin.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is like street heroin for street people.
Okay. Is it black? Is it physically black?
Don't remember.
Okay.
I've
All right.
never actually seen it in person.
Been a while since I see some black tar heroin, so I can't tell you.
I have no clue. I'm assuming it is. Otherwise, why would they call it that? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a great question. Okay.
I don't know. My number 624 is a Coen Brothers movie from 1996 called Fargo. Well-known movie. This is about like a small town Minnesota police chief or sheriff who gets embroiled in a Coen-esque murder plot, and Coen-esque things ensue from there. I have one issue with this movie. It's called Fargo, but Fargo's in North Carolina. Not tired at all. Fargo's in North Dakota. And this movie takes place in Brainerd, Minnesota, which is very close to Fargo, North Dakota, but not in Fargo. And I don't know, it was like Brainerd, too much of a boring name for it or something. I don't know why this movie's called Fargo. Besides, it's trying to have you, I'm sure, assume and envision like
it's a fun word.
Snowy plain of the.
It should have just been placed in Fargo. I mean, Fargo's a good name for a movie, but bad name for this movie if it's not in Fargo.
No. And I had a friend in college from Brainerd, and she was like, yeah, it doesn't even take place in Fargo.
Wait do you get to the TV series?
Oh, I'm not going to get to the TV series. I feel like I've
5 seasons of not being in Fargo.
Ugh.
Are they all in Brainerd or whatever that is?
I don't remember.
I really like William H. Macy, by the way. He's a national treasure.
You good?
He good. Okay. My 624 is from 1999. It's called Broke Down Palace. Have you guys seen Broke Down Palace?
Oh, yeah.
A long time. Yeah.
I like that movie.
Claire Danes is an innocent girl that goes to Thailand and then is found to have drugs on her at the airport and gets arrested and is thrown into prison and the keys thrown away, and it's a bad situation for her. And so it's her, Kate Beckinsale's in it, Bill Pullman's in it, and they're trying to get her out of this prison in Thailand. And it's kind of like a prison movie for her. It's really good. It's really good.
Agreed. Right. My number 623 is from 1999. It's Magnolia from Paul Thomas Anderson.
With William H. Macy.
Right. Another H. Macy movie. Also stars Tom Cruise and Philip Seymour Hoffman, Julianne Moore, Alfred Molina, John C. Reilly, a bunch of other people in this. I'd say it's one of the least approachable Paul Thomas Anderson movies just because there's so much weirdness in it and it kind of jumps around from character to character in interesting ways. But it's not the first movie I'd start somebody on a Paul Thomas Anderson run on, for sure. It's a challenging movie, but a good one, a worthy one. And that's why I put it on my list. Also, them frogs. Am I right? Them frogs.
Yeah. Those frogs.
Good. My 623 is my old 563 Silverado, but instead at 472, look at this, Woman in the Dunes. Did I even predict this would be happening?
Well, where'd Lawrence of Arabia happen?
This is your Sandy subsection.
474. This is my Sandy subsection. Yeah. And actually, I see. I do see that Furiosa and Mad Max Saga is above that. Is that a sand movie, or is Mad Max a sand movie? Fury Road.
Yeah.
It's okay. So I think Fury Road is my favorite sand movie.
Interesting. Bold take.
Well, bold take. It's like a top 100 movie for me.
Sure. Yeah.
But Woman in the Dunes is a incredible sand movie. This is a Japanese film from 1964. It's about a man is vacationing in a seaside town, and he gets tricked into entering this sunken sand dune that a woman lives in. And he's essentially tasked with helping her constantly shovel sand out of the dune so that she could save her home.
And not be buried alive.
And not be buried by, exactly. And that's kind of the setup for it. It's an odd movie because she's being mocked by the other villagers this whole time for living in there. He becomes fascinated with his captor, almost like a Stockholm syndrome thing happens. And this is a really philosophical movie that I read my review, and I don't know how pretentious I was feeling at the time, but I said, this movie asks a question: do you shovel to survive or survive to shovel?
Probably not very pretentious at the time when you wrote that.
That's not a pretentious thing to say.
Well, let's ask Michael Jackson over there.
Okay.
Who?
Michael Jackson. What?
James?
What are you talking about?
Suddenly you're like wearing a glove?
I don't know what you're talking about. My number 622 is a little bit of a guilty pleasure for me, for sure. I don't know what other people think about this movie, but it's from 1998, and it's Enemy of the State.
Ooh, good choice.
Yeah. So it sounds like I've got one fan here with me.
Is it possible that I could say my 623 first, though?
Okay.
Just because Kyle just did his.
Oh, did I jump you?
I thought I would just jump in.
Oh, okay.
I'll be quick, though.
Go for it.
It's Waking Life.
That would be incredible.
From 2001. Waking Life. This is the rotoscope movie by Richard Linklater. I think this movie's awesome. I saw this in college, and I've never forgotten it. So, James.
That movie's better than Enemy of the State.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, it's a Will Smith movie starring Gene Hackman, Jon Voight, Regina King, a bunch of other people. Directed by Tony Scott, the late great Tony Scott, and yeah, it's a paranoid thriller, I would say, a tech movie, circa 1998. I bet most of the tech. I haven't watched this in a while, but I bet most of the tech is like very antiquated these days.
Yeah,
compared to what we actually have today. It's also one of the first movies I ever owned on DVD. Back when
everyone did.
Yeah, I didn't have a lot of DVDs, and so I probably seen this 5 or 6 times on DVD.
Sure.
And so that's part of the attachment to it as well. So, Enemy of the State.
That was a college staple.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. 622, my old 562, Rye Lane, but coming in new at 468, Inside Out 2. This is the sequel to Inside Out, the further adventures of Riley. New emotions are added in. And I think they did it again. They were able to make Riley a complete character. The new emotions were a great personification of how those feelings can actually feel. And I enjoyed this one, not as much as the first one, but did not feel like a step down either from Inside Out.
Speaking of Pixar, my 622 is Onward from 2020. This is a film about 2 brothers, and they're like elves, I guess, and they're on a quest. And this movie really affected me quite a bit. I think because I saw it, very soon after my own father passed away, and this movie deals with like them and their father who had passed away. And so it really I was the exact right target for this movie to hit. And the end of this movie I thought was really, really good. I think subject matter wise is not normally something that I would be interested or care about. But this movie really did a trick on me. So Onward is my 622.
Nice. My 621 is from 1996. It's Swingers, which I know
too low.
I know both of you like probably more than I do, but I enjoyed it as well. I think it's a pretty unique movie. Definitely one for the history books as far as like independent, low budget movies from the 90s. It is, 90s indie film royalty, I would say. It's a buddy comedy movie written by Jon Favreau and directed by Doug Liman, who eventually directed what's that movie? Edge of Tomorrow.
Roadhouse.
Edge of Tomorrow. And Roadhouse, but we won't count that. Yeah, it's about 2 bros who want to get the chicks and they want to go gambling in Vegas, right? That's roughly what it's about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vegas, baby. Vegas.
Yep. Bravo rated it 58 on their 100 funniest movies of all time.
See, Bravo knows.
They definitely know.
Yeah, they know.
James, that pick is money.
Yes,
My 621.
I agree.
It's my old 561 Nobody. But coming in new at 467 is Furiosa: A Mad Max Saga. I was hard on this movie the first time we reviewed it. I think I wanted Mad Max Fury Road Part 2, and George Miller gave us a different movie. And that's okay. Once I saw this a second time, and there's a lot to like about this movie. I saw some issues with it, but I think Chris Hemsworth gives an incredible performance. George Miller can still shoot action sequences. It's not as action-packed as Fury Road, but the ones that he does put in there are pretty great. Anya Taylor-Joy does just fine as Furiosa. Could have kept Charlize, would have been fine, but, his choice to make. This movie, upon second watch, pretty good.
They could not have kept her. She's way older.
But she does not look it whatsoever. She is ageless.
Yeah, she does. No, that's not true. She looks 40 years older than Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yeah, but Anya Taylor-Joy looks like 12, so.
My 621 is Kinds of Kindness from 2024. This is a Trideck film by Yorgos Lanthimos, and I find all three of the stories interesting and in a way that Yorgos is just capable of making. So that's why it's my 621.
You just called it a Trideck film?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that before. Is that a real term?
I don't know. Let's look it up. I used it because it makes sense to me.
Could just call it an anthology.
Trideck. Yeah, it's a real word. It means a film by Yorgos Lanthimos that has 3 parts to it.
What a very specific definition for that word.
For sure. No, I just don't know how to spell Trideck, but I think it's a word.
I don't think it's a word.
I believe it's a word. I just had never heard it before.
I mean, you could call it like a trilogy of shorts.
It lacks the punch of Trideck.
Or it's an anthology. People understand what that means.
A trithology.
No, that's terrible. That's worse than Trideck.
This last weekend, I was in Atlanta, and we visited the movie studio that's like kind of in the Atlanta suburbs.
Yeah,
and it's called Trilith. You've heard of a monolith? They named it Trilith.
Oh,
because there's 3 of them.
Because there's 3 elements that they like base their whole philosophy around the studio around. So they named it Trilith.
That's clunky.
Okay.
Instead of Trilith, should be Trilith.
The word that I meant to say was triptych.
Oh, okay.
A triptych is a 3-panel art piece.
Okay.
Cool.
So like a painting with 3 panels is called a triptych.
I'll allow it.
Not a Trideck.
Learn something new every day. My number 620 is from 1996. It's Pusher, the first movie in the Pusher trilogy. All 3 movies directed by Nicholas Winding Refn, director of Drive and Bronson and Valhalla Rising, amongst others. And this movie's very good, I would say. It's very raw. Like, if you expect the style of Nicholas Winding Refn, it's that. It's just the grungy version of that. It's literally about a drug dealer. It's about like the drug underworld, I would say, of I forget where it takes place, but it stars Mads Mikkelsen. It's his film debut. Pusher 1 is. He's in the other 2 as well. It's really good if you like 90s indie crime grunge movies. This is the best of them, I would say. And the 2 sequels are good as well, but the first one sings for sure.
Is every one of your top 700 drug movies?
No, but there are a lot.
Okay.
There are a lot. I mean, Once was in here. Do they do drugs in Once?
You would never know.
Well, you would if it was in the movie, but I don't think it's in the movie. So
I think they smoke pot.
Do they?
Music is a natural high.
There's no drugs in Magnolia. No, there is. There's coke in Magnolia, right?
Yeah,
don't they do coke in that?
Yeah.
What about Enemy of the State?
Enema of the State.
Enema of the State is not going to appear on my list, Kyle.
That's a good album.
It's a good album. My 620 is Avengers: Infinity War. This is the last great MCU movie. I think it's fair to say that.
Over
Wait, what
Endgame?
Endgame.
Oh, shoot. I'm tired, guys.
Second to
Yeah,
last.
this is the second to last one. I'm at the wrong movie. This is the setup to the the last great Avengers movie.
Sure.
Quality podcasting right now, guys.
So which one is your actual 620?
Infinity War is
Okay.
my actual 620. And I remember being impressed by this movie that they brought it all together, because MCU, as you mentioned from Iron Man, had been building to this for the last, I don't know, like 15 years or whatever it was, 10 years. Yeah, probably 10 years. And I was like, how are they going to pull off this huge comic book crossover? And Infinity War pulled it off and made you excited for the next chapter, which is probably somewhere on this list, but it could be higher, could be lower. I don't know anymore.
Okay. All right. My 620 is a movie I've never talked about on this podcast even once in the history of 700 episodes. Any guesses? In fact, it's never been mentioned
All right.
by any y'all.
Debbie
It's,
Does Dallas. That's my guess.
It's a documentary called A Map for Saturday. This is from 2007. It is an indie documentary called A Map for Saturday. It's all about solo traveling around the world, like staying in hostels, backpacking, traveling to different places around the world. This guy basically quit his job and spent 6 months or a year staying in hostels, going around the world, living out of a backpack. And he decided to film a documentary as he did it. So he's just interviewing people about what it's like to go through this experience, and from start to finish, and all the different things they experience. And I loved it. It was really fun to watch. I kind of have a wanderlust. I think both of you know that. I love to travel. I also love to travel cheap. So I've stayed in maybe 100 hostels. I really enjoy that lifestyle. And so this movie just it had a lot of the sentiments that I've experienced myself, and also made me really want to hit the road again. So I really enjoyed this documentary, A Map for Saturday.
Nice. I'm writing that one down. All right. 619 from 1984. We're talking Repo Man, which is a movie that I hadn't seen until maybe within the last year. I blind bought it on Criterion Blu-ray and gave it a watch, and kind of fell in love with it. It's a sci-fi movie that has a very dark comedic edge to it. I don't think there's any drugs in this, but I don't really remember. This movie stars Harry Dean Stanton and Emilio Estevez, amongst others, and literally about repo men who need to repossess things. Under the surface, though, it's a movie about consumerism and the Reagan administration, 80s excess, those types of things. Also made right in the middle of the 80s, 1984. And fun, interesting movie for sure that for some reason just completely passed me by at the time. And yeah, Repo Man. Check it out.
It's a unique cult film for sure.
Yeah.
I looked it up on the Parents Guide for Common Sense Media, and it says only recommended for 17 plus. So I think my kids cannot watch this movie.
It's not a kids movie.
They should watch that Black Tar heroin documentary first. Then they can watch Repo Man. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
My 619 is my old 560 long shot, but coming in new at 464 is Empire of the Sun. This is a 1987 Steven Spielberg movie starring Christian Bale, a young Christian Bale. Yeah. This movie takes place in China right before the Japanese invade China. Christian Bale and his family are part of a British colonists who live there. The Japanese invade. Everyone evacuates, but Christian Bale gets separated from his family and gets put into essentially a prison camp and has to survive on his own. He eventually teams up with John Malkovich, who helps him navigate this new world. Ben Stiller's in his crew, which I'd forgot about until I saw this movie recently. That Ben Stiller's in this movie. And this is a movie that really affected me as a child, because I think I was around Christian Bale's age when I saw it. And like the idea of being that young and separated from your family, having to survive on your own was like horrific to me. So I've always thought about this movie, and it was fun to watch it again. And I'm like, oh yeah, this deserves a spot on my top lists. So here it is.
It's such a good movie. Really, really good.
Yeah.
My number 619 is It's What's Inside from 2024. And this is where a group of friends get together before a wedding, and they're just all hanging out. They haven't like spent time since college together, right? All together. And someone who's like a tech, Silicon Valley tech guy brings a device that lets them switch bodies. So all of a sudden they decide to play around with this, and they all switch into each other's bodies. And then mayhem and murder and intrigue ensue. And I really like this movie. I thought it was very cleverly done. Every actor had to play multiple roles. It would use film language to let you know who was who, and get into their inner thoughts and that kind of thing. And it was just it was a lot on the plate, and they handled it well, and I really enjoyed this movie. So It's What's Inside, 2024 surprise sci-fi hit.
Cool.
Nice. My 618 is from 1977. It's The Ascent, which I think is a movie Kyle recommended.
No, it's a movie AI recommended.
That's what it was.
To me,
it
yes.
Came up on your AI episode.
Yes.
And it was a recommendation for Kyle, and then I watched it as well, even though I wasn't on that episode. And I enjoyed it. I thought this movie was great. It's a war movie. It's a dark movie, even though the bulk of it is filmed in the daytime with snow around you. So it's a very bright movie, and yet all the characters are just going through the hell that is war, I would say. It is set in the what are we talking about here?
I think isn't like Russia, World War II?
The Great Patriotic War. Yeah, World War II. So the 40s at some point.
Yeah.
And these two guys get separated from their group, and they're kind of going through the countryside from location to location looking for food and shelter. And eventually they find it, and other stuff happens, and the ending is pretty grim but good. And I think it's a worthy, I'm not sure there's much commentary going on here. I think it's all pretty surface level, like war sucks type of stuff, but really well made, and impressive what they did with kind of not a whole lot of resources. Like, it's not a big budget war movie, but it's still very effective in the end. The Ascent.
Good pick. Nice job, AI. My 618 is my old 559, Last King of Scotland, but new to my list at 454 is A Christmas Story. This is a classic Christmas movie that many people have watched. This is one of my favorite Christmas movies. I like the vignette style of this movie. There really is no plot to it. It's just sort of like a boy retelling his one Christmas childhood he had. So there's things happen. It's funny, but there's no I guess it is building to the big present he wants. But other than that, there's no actual plot to this movie. You're just sort of hanging out with his family. I think they're in the 40s for an hour and a half. It's funny. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's a classic for sure. Yeah. Love it. My 618 is Mission: Impossible - The Final Reckoning. This is the latest, possibly last Mission Impossible film. And I just had a really good time with this movie. This was what I want from a Mission Impossible movie. So I was into it.
Nice. It's a good one. My number 617 is from 1931. Rare early movie for my list. This one, just one letter. The letter M.
Oh, hey.
which I enjoyed. Fritz Lang movie, maybe the first Fritz Lang movie I've ever seen, maybe the only.
Have you seen Metropolis?
Have not seen Metropolis. I mean, I know of it. It's very famous for its art style, but no, have not seen Metropolis.
Okay.
It's on my list. I started with M, which is a movie about a serial killer who kills children. Pretty grim. And I think they can't catch him, and so people, including other criminals, start kind of hunting him down, type of thing. And it's a good movie. It's very stylish, very like all the angles down the streets and the black and whiteness of it all and everything. It's just a really well put together movie. Doesn't suffer from the time period that it came from. In my opinion, I overcame all of the old feelingness of it because it was just so well told and interestingly assembled, for sure. And I'm looking forward to exploring more of Fritz Lang's filmography. M.
Nice. My number 617 is a 2023 movie. I believe it was on one of your lists last episode, Anatomy of a Fall.
That was on mine.
That was on yours. All right, perfect. This movie stars Sandra Hüller as a woman who is charged with murdering her husband. She's home alone with her husband. He ends up dead. We don't really know why he's dead or what happened, but she is charged with said murder. Zach, as you mentioned before, it's interesting to see sort of a different court system and how like the French run their court system versus, how we run ours. But I also really liked this kind of like the theme of this movie of if you take any interaction that you have and put it under a microscope, they can be portrayed in any way someone wants to. And it makes you kind of think about like all the micro conversations you have throughout the day. And if someone takes one of those conversations and just zooms in on it and digs into it, something that you thought was innocuous, are they going to like find some sinister thread through it? Or how can people perceive things that were said out of context? And I thought this movie does a great job of exploring that.
Cool. My 617 is a movie that I apologize. I have not talked about this movie enough over the course of 700 episodes for how much I enjoyed it when I first saw it in the theater. I thought I was really seeing something when I saw this movie, and I still feel that way. It's 1995's Powder.
I love this movie.
Yeah. I
love this trailer. That's all I see of this movie.
Oh, you've never seen Powder?
No, I remember the trailer being all over MTV in 95.
Yeah.
So yeah, he like I don't know, he's bald, he can move locks with his fingers, he's got like electromagnetic abilities.
Yeah. It also stars Jeff Goldblum and Mary Steenburgen. So add that to your roster. No, Powder is awesome. This is a movie that no one talks about. I bet most kids around today have never seen Powder. Which I know, shocking, but
it is shocking. How is everyone sleeping on Powder?
Yeah. Don't sleep on Powder. It's great. It's really great. It's the best. This and The Matrix battle it out for best spoon movie. I don't know which one wins.
Powder wins
Maybe
the spoon war for sure.
I think so. I think it wins the spoon war. Yeah. Powder would defeat Neo, I think.
I think so too.
Yeah.
On behalf of Powder, apology accepted.
Thank you.
My number 616 is a movie from 2022. It's All Quiet on the Western Front. You guys remember that movie?
I do.
Kind of feels like it came and went, but this is a remake, I guess, of the original 1930 version of the movie. It's a war movie that's really an anti-war movie that, is very similar to The Ascent. It's just kind of like showing that war is awful and nobody ever really wins when it comes to war. It's very well made, well acted. The cinematography in it is flawless, I would say, for the story they're telling. and it got nominated and won all kinds of awards for a reason. It's very well put together. All Quiet on the Western Front, the remake.
Good pick. My 616 is my old 558, The Old Guard, but coming in new at 450 is 2023's Godzilla -1. This is like the third Godzilla movie I've ever seen. I'm not huge into Godzilla, but I heard this one was good and it lived up to the hype. This movie takes place shortly after Japan has been defeated in World War II. They're trying to rebuild from their defeat, and then Godzilla, this monster, shows up and kind of knocks Japan back off its rocker again. There's not a lot of Godzilla in this movie, but when he does appear, it's pretty cool. This is not like, Michael Jackson, what's with the glove? That's really bothering me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Is it your beard combing glove? Is that what it's for? Like only that one hand can touch your beard?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it. It's the beard glove. That's for sure. I keep the oils out of the beard. Not a ton of Godzilla and Godzilla -1, but when the monster does appear, it's done very well. It's very effective. And this movie actually makes you care about the humans. Like what I talk about Godzilla X Kong, I'm like, I just want to see them fight. I don't care about the humans. In Godzilla -1, you care about the human story and their interaction with this bigger world that has this Godzilla monster. So I would say, even if you don't care for Godzilla, Godzilla -1 is definitely worth a poke.
Yes. Now we have a bingo at 616. It is already been mentioned on this episode, Inside Out 2.
Nice.
Not as good as Inside Out, but good.
Nice. All right. We are on number 615. For me, that movie would be 2023's The Zone of Interest from Jonathan Glazer. This is the Auschwitz movie so there's some kind of German commander or something like that, a German soldier, a high-ranking soldier who lives in a house right outside the walls of Auschwitz, and the movie kind of follows him and his family on their property, and mostly. And they are living kind of a normal rural life, from the time. And there's not a whole lot of mention about what's going on the other side of the wall from where they live. And they're raising children and they're acting like a normal, loving family. And yet just, a few feet away is one of the worst atrocities in modern history occurring, and not only occurring, but this guy's kind of in charge of it on some level, or at least a higher up in the execution of that atrocity. So surprisingly easy movie to watch, probably because they chose not to depict the worst horrors of the Holocaust and instead give you a perspective on it that we don't normally get. It's odd in that you don't see your main characters committing any crimes, and yet that they're a part of it. They're aiding and abetting it. They're executing it. They're guilty of those crimes. And I just thought it was a very well executed implementation, or I'm going to say spin, but that's not the right word. Take on this kind of well-trod story, The Zone of Interest.
My 615 is my old 557, Jackie, but coming new to the list at 445 is Red Cliff. This is a 2008 movie directed by John Woo, starring Tony Leung, amongst other actors. This is a Chinese military epic. This movie takes place about 2,000 years ago, and it depicts the Battle of Red Cliff, which is between these two warring Chinese armies. And this movie is a cast of thousands, where you've got thousands of warriors with spears and arrows all fighting each other. This movie shows ancient military techniques and tactics. How do you have these large scale wars, especially if you're outnumbered, having strategic advantage. This is just a really interesting and fun epic war movie that I think a lot of people have not seen. just because it's mostly a Chinese production. It is John Woo, so he does have his doves and his slow motion. There's even a character who's dual wielding like spears, spinning in slow motion at one point. So I was like, wow, okay, he can't have guns, but he can still have dual wield spears. But it feels a little bit more tasteful than like what he was doing with Mission Impossible 2. Like it's a bit of a toned down John Woo. So don't let the John Woo-ness scare you away from Red Cliff.
Okay. My 615 is Black Bag from 2025. This is Michael Fassbender, Cate Blanchett movie, and this movie I loved. It had such a great sensibility to it. It's a Steven Soderbergh film, and he knows how to make a really good movie about spies and it's a lot of fun. It's really good. It's got James Bond in it. It's awesome.
Good pick.
My number 614, and I guess this is my Brady Corbet subsection, is The Brutalist from 2024. We talked about it relatively recently. It's a period drama about an architect immigrant who comes to the U.S. and is hired by a wealthy person to construct a building for him. And drama ensues. Perfect cinematography, interesting tone. There's a twist, maybe mostly close to the end of the movie, that definitely changes things for me. Complicates the characters quite a bit, and I enjoyed it overall. The Brutalist. One of my favorite movies of last year.
Yeah. It was pretty good. My 614 is a movie that I watched from James' Top 100. This is 1986's The Mission, which was a movie I'd never heard of really until I saw James' Top 100. And this is a pretty awesome movie. This movie takes place, I'm not sure exactly what year. It's when like the Spanish, the Portuguese are colonizing South America. So let me guess, like the 17th century, around there. Jeremy Irons plays a Jesuit priest, a Spanish Jesuit priest who has set up a mission in the wilderness of this South American jungle, trying to convert the locals, but also just kind of bring modernization to them and give them a place of refuge. And he's eventually joined by Robert De Niro, who's an ex-slave trader who sees the errors of his ways and joins on his mission. And things are going fine until the Spanish decide to sell the land to the Portuguese. And the Portuguese are going to be much more aggressive with how they manage the locals, how their views on slavery. So Jeremy Irons and the locals have to fight back their aggressors and put one last big stand on. And this movie it's a bit epic. It's beautiful. It's like how it's shot in the jungle with waterfalls and it's scenery. And it's just really strong performances from everyone across the board. I really liked it, and I'm glad James recommended it to me.
Yeah, it's a really good movie. My 614 is from 2024. It's a movie that we reviewed on the show called The Count of Monte Cristo. So this is the recent remake of The Count of Monte Cristo, and I thought it was really good. I mean, it's a great story, obviously, but I love how this one was shot, and it's utilizing the full technology that we have available to us to update the story, and I thought it was really well done. So The Count of Monte Cristo. It really makes me want to read the book. I never have, but I really want to.
Oh, I've kind of read it off and on all the time, and it's a great book. It's one of my favorite books.
Yeah.
One of the few books I've read.
Yeah.
That's quite the book to read, James. If you're going to read a book.
I mean, I was
dense.
forced to read it in school, so.
Oh.
You had to read that in school?
Yeah.
That is a crazy book to have to read in school.
I don't know. We read some crazy books in school.
Well, how long isn't it like 1,200 pages or something?
It's not quite. It's long. It's not quite that long, but it's long.
Okay. All right.
I mean, how long is Great Expectations?
I didn't have to read that in school either.
You don't have to read it. Actually, you got lucky.
I don't know.
No, I didn't read. I read Animal Farm.
Well, yeah, I read that one.
I read that too.
Yeah, like
read
1984.
The Scarlet Letter. Did you read that?
Yep, read the Scarlet Letter, but that was short.
No.
You didn't read the Scarlet Letter?
I was supposed to. I just didn't.
Oh. Wait, were you supposed to read Great Expectations but didn't?
No.
Were you in we read in 12th grade English.
I was in Penny's class.
Oh, Penny. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you read the classic comics version of it?
No, I didn't.
Because we did for Moby Dick. She gave us a graphic novel that she photocopied that was like 8 pages long. He's like, here, this is Moby Dick. Read that.
Yeah, never read Moby Dick. Man, all right.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. Yeah, Penny was not a great teacher.
I had her 2 years.
I'm sorry for that.
I liked Penny.
Because she
Anyway.
make you do anything. She gave you like worksheets to do and busy
We had to make a
work and-
board game once. based on a
Exactly.
book.
It was all busy work in that class. There was no literature or reading. It was
Yeah, that's true.
Whose
That's
turn
true.
is it?
Yours.
All right.
Yeah.
613 is from 2025. Maybe one of the newer movies. Well, clearly one of the newer movies on my list. Sinners.
Yeah.
Which is just a few months since release. This set in the 1930s. It's a horror movie with a little bit of a, I want to say historical angle, but it's not historical. It's just a period. It's set in a
period piece.
specific period. Directed by Ryan Coogler, starring Michael B. Jordan and Haley Steinfeld and Jack O'Connell and Delroy Lindo and a bunch of other people. It's a vampire movie about these two brothers who are opening up a speakeasy of sorts. Maybe it's not a speakeasy, but
Juke
it's-
joint.
Yeah, a juke joint type of thing. And they get attacked by vampires, and it's a little bit of like a racial allegory amongst other things going on in this movie. And I really enjoyed it. And not only that, beyond the movie itself, just the economics of the movie and the idea that Ryan Coogler still owns a piece of it and will eventually own all of it is kind of interesting to me beyond the movie itself, which is good without even that. But Sinners.
Right. My 613 is my old 556 Dallas Buyers Club, but new to the list at 444 Hundreds of Beavers. This movie came out last year. I think it was made a couple years ago, but finally got released last year. And this is a quirky, low budget comedy, almost in the style of Looney Tunes, but live action. It's like a live action Looney Tune. It's about a North American fur trapper in the 19th century who is tasked with having to capture hundreds of beavers to eventually win the love of the local merchant's daughter. And every character is played by a human in like a bad mascot costume, whether it be a wolf or a beaver, and there's slapstickness to it, and there's, just lots of like copying of the same beaver over and over again to get this a sense that there's hundreds of them around. It's all shot in black and white. It's dialogueless. It's a really unique and fun movie that you don't see. I don't know. It just stood out to me as like, this is way different than anything I've seen before, but I really liked it.
Interesting. Very interesting.
You haven't seen Hundreds of Beavers?
I have not.
I
I've seen maybe two.
have. It's really fun.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
you should see it.
I'll have to check it out.
Just because
Sounds great.
it's just different. than
It's
anything you've seen
so
before.
unique.
Yeah.
You've
Okay.
never seen anything like it.
I'm excited. My 613 is a movie I've talked about before. It's Captain Fantastic. It got pushed down. So instead, I will talk about a movie that broke into my list at 555 is F1. This is the Brad Pitt film where he plays an F1 driver. I thought this was just a super easy to watch, fun sports movie. I liked it quite a bit. So it's my new 555.
My number 612 is from 2023. It's Poor Things from what's his name? Yorgos Lanthimos. Also, this one stars Emma Stone and Mark Ruffalo and Willem Dafoe, amongst others. And it's a good movie. It's a Frankenstein-esque tale, I would say, with a little bit of a gender reversal. And it's set during the Victorian era, and it's just a wacky movie with a weird tone and a lot of plot twists and turns, and 2 solid central performances from Emma Stone and Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
Like they are like nothing else you've ever seen them in anything else. And they play off each other very well. The chemistry is clear, and really fun movie, an adult movie for sure, not one for kids because of some of the subject matter throughout, but just a kind of a delight to watch. Not only the creative vision of Yorgos, but these 2 well-known actors having fun together on screen. Poor Things.
I had Poor Things on my list last week, so I think this is our first triple bingo
Nice.
across the
Nice.
100.
That's exciting.
What's also exciting is my 612, which is my old 555 Top Gun Maverick. But even more exciting is my new 441, which is a movie that I think I just overlooked when I made this list originally because I was looking at other 4-star movies and like, why is this on my list? So I put it on there. Die Hard with a Vengeance. This is the third Die Hard movie. I like this one a lot. John McClane is being taunted by Jeremy Irons, who's the brother of Hans Gruber, I believe, who's setting up all these riddles around the city to keep John McClane busy. And he enlists a local store owner, played by Samuel L. Jackson, to help him solve these riddles and run around the city. And I wish I could remember what Samuel L. Jackson's character's name was. It's something cool like Zero or Zorro or starts with the Z. Help me out here.
I don't know.
Sorry.
It's a good name. Anyway, it's a fun movie. It's also the best of the Die Hard trilogy games that Zach had on Sega CD.
Zach had a Sega CD.
Oh yeah.
What's up, rich kid?
No.
No,
Oh, yeah, pretty
No.
sure he bought it secondhand.
I bought it secondhand for sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
many years after it was a thing.
Yeah. Yes, with my paper route money.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Okay. My
Zeus. His name is Zeus.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, thank you.
My 612, I've talked about before. It's the girl chewing gum from 1976. So instead, I'm going to talk about the movie that pushed it onto my top 700, and that is Conclave, which is now my 535. Conclave is about the Cardinals picking a new pope. There's a lot of intrigue, and I love palace intrigue, and especially Catholic palace intrigue is very interesting to me. So Conclave is great.
Fun fact, the director of Conclave, also the director of All Quiet on the Western Front.
There you
That's
go.
right.
There you go.
How
now we
fun.
know. We didn't know before, but now we do.
So much fun. My number 611 is from 2024. It's No Other Land, another documentary. This one is talking about the Israeli settlements in Palestine, and consists of pretty much all in the moment footage of Palestinians being evicted from their homes, essentially, and what the dispute around that, and focusing more on the people involved in the skirmish as opposed to the politics surrounding it. And really well made. Won Best Documentary Feature, I believe, at this year's Oscars, despite not having any distribution, which has never happened before. And it's a good one. You should check it out if you haven't. No Other
It's good.
Land.
I really liked it a lot.
My 611 is my old 554 Capote, but new to the list is a recent film called Flow. I believe this won Best Animated Feature at the most recent Oscars. This movie is an animated movie, and it is a wordless movie about a group of animals that must team together to survive a flood. So I guess the movie stars a cat, but this cat joins up with a dog, a crane, a capybara, some other animals. And this movie, I believe there's probably an allegory to it about working together and segregation. But this movie is really just about these animals having to work together, even though they have their differences, to survive this epic flood that was threatening to destroy their entire home. And it's uniquely animated. I think it was done on a free program, but I think the animation works really well. And the sound design is just of these animals making noises. And I really liked this movie.
The animation looks like it was made on a Sega Saturn.
Yeah, yes and no. Like uh, it has a bit of a painterly quality to it. It's not quite as like polygon and rough, but I could see the Sega Knights character just flying through at one point though.
Yeah. Sure. That's a great game. Good call. My 611 is the Super Mario Brothers movie, but it got pushed down by another movie, so I'm going to talk about it. The Substance is my new 448 on my list. And that movie is wacky, zany, nonstop, like pushes everything to the limit. It is a crazy movie with a very simple message, right? It's the dangers inherent in our society ever praising youth and telling people that they're not good enough as soon as they age. And this movie's great. It's really has a lot of very memorable scenes, I would say. So The Substance is my 448.
Nice. We are now in our top 10 films of this list in a weird way. And speaking of aging, my number 610 was released 1 year after I was born. The movie from 1978, Halloween, the original. Just a horror movie classic, I would say. What Michael Myers, horror legend at this point. They've made like 15 different versions of Halloween at this point.
Yeah. That many? Wow.
Yeah, several reboots in. Literally eras of Halloween movies, and none of them nearly as good as the first one in a weird way. There's things to like about some of the other ones, but the original Halloween kind of stands alone and holds up to this day. Yeah.
Nice.
Senor?
Yes. My 610 is my old 553 Elite Squad, but that got replaced or pushed down by another movie that I think was a bit of an overlook. My new 433 Spirited Away, which is another Miyazaki film. And this is most people's favorite Miyazaki film. It's not my favorite Miyazaki film, but it's definitely a strong one. This has similar themes to like My Neighbor Totoro, but definitely goes a little deeper with this girl's family who gets kind of sucked into this world of a witch, and this girl has to go into this world of the witch, and she's led by spirit guides, and there's magic that's happening, and she's interacting with all these creatures, and I mean, Miyazaki is an incredibly imaginative and inventive director, and that's shown very much through Spirited Away, which is another good film.
Awesome. Okay, my 610 is now probably the oldest movie on my list. It's the launch of the HMS Albion at Blackwell from 1898. But it's got pushed down because another movie made my list higher up. It's Friendship at slot 427.
Oh, this is the new one?
Yes, from 2024. I watched this very recently. It's a Tim Robinson film with Paul Rudd, and I thought this movie was so incredibly funny. I laughed a lot during this movie. I went into it. So Tim Robinson, if you're not familiar with him, he has a very specific sensibility of the comedy that he does. He has a Netflix show that's super, super funny. I would recommend it to anyone that's not familiar with Tim Robinson. But I went into this movie assuming that Paul Rudd was the main character, and he made this friend, Tim Robinson, who turned out to be crazy. And that is a movie that we've seen before. Someone can't get a crazy person out of their life, kind of a thing. This movie is not that. Our main character is Tim Robinson, and he meets Paul Rudd, who's a normal person. and Tim Robinson, our main character, is the crazy one. And that for me was just the right equation for just hilarious things. I just laughed a lot during this movie. I thought it was really good. Paul Rudd is so good. He's just he's a national treasure. One day he'll grow up to be William H. Macy. And Tim Robinson is super funny in this. I had a great time with Friendship, so that's why it is now my 427.
Nice. My number 609 is Speed from 1994, the action movie starring Keanu Reeves, Dennis Hopper, and Sandra Bullock. Kind of the breakout movie for Keanu Reeves and certainly Sandra Bullock at the time. Keanu Reeves had been in things, but he wasn't really known as an action star pre the movie Speed. This is that movie where the bus can't go lower than 65 miles an hour or else it explodes. And so they have to like save all the passengers from a moving bus. It's kind of a silly movie in retrospect. I didn't think about it that way at the time, but on rewatch over the years, it's a fun ride, not to be taken too seriously, but it holds up as a nice waste of time if you're looking for that. Speed from 1994.
Nice. My 609 is my old 535, Big Trouble in Little China. But new to the list, previously mentioned, The Zone of Interest at 430.
Nice.
Yeah, this movie it's the banality of evil. You have these Nazis in committee meetings about the efficiency of eradicating people, and then you just watch them talk about it like it's, quarterly numbers they have to meet.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, these are humans you're talking about here. And it's just the complete dehumanization of a certain group of people. And I think how that can clear one's conscience of their terrible actions. It's a great movie. Hard subject matter, even though, right, they don't present you the worst of it, but you know what's happening.
I have still yet to see it, so I need to check that out.
Oh, well, yeah. See that before anything else we've recommended.
Oh, really?
I would say so, yeah.
Okay. I was
I mean,
thinking about
Jonathan
rewatching
Glazer,
Powder.
he makes a movie like every decade. So
Powder. Yeah, I disagree with Kyle. I think Powder rewatch first.
Okay.
Right into Zone of Interest.
Would it be a good double feature?
Sure. Why not?
Okay. Great. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, my 609 is La Strada, but that got pushed down because I've talked about it before. It got pushed down by my 416, which is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. This is the original Disney cartoon. It's one that I've probably watched 20 times with my kids because they really like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And I like it too. The first time I watched this movie, I thought it was way overrated. I did not appreciate it, but it has definitely grown on me. I think
it's sunk his claws into you.
Yeah, I think it's a good movie. It's my 416, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Nice. My number, what are we on? 608.
608
is from the 90s, 1992. We're talking Kronos, the first film from Guillermo del Toro. I think it's his first film. If it's not his first, it's among his first. It's a horror movie, horror drama, I would say. Maybe the only name people would recognize is Ron Perlman, who's a staple of Guillermo del Toro movies.
Mm-hmm.
It's about a guy who invents a mechanism that kind of looks like a bug that can give people eternal life. And things happen in the movies. I don't want to spoil exactly what Kronos has in store. If you like Guillermo del Toro movies, but for some reason haven't explored his early, like pre-Hollywood filmography, you should just start at the beginning. Start at Kronos. Go from there. You will see that he had his style from frame one. And he may have refined it over time, but he's clearly a filmmaker with a vision. And Kronos is, if you enjoy the rest of his vision, you're in for a treat with Kronos. I loved it.
All right. My 608 is my area code. It's also Flea, which is my old 552. New to the list, another oversight that I thought had to be added on here is Beauty and the Beast, the Disney movie from 1991, I believe. I've watched this movie a ton of times as a kid. I own this and Aladdin on VHS. Aladdin's a top 100 movie for me. Beauty and the Beast, 383, still high up there. But I think this is golden age of Disney. The songs are great. The animation's great. Gaston's a great bad guy. I will never look at West Wings again after seeing this movie. It's always the West Wing. They never say don't go in the North Wing or the East Wing. I don't know why it's always the West Wing, but
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, my 608, I've talked about it before. It got pushed down. It's straight out of Compton. Instead, I'm going to say what movie pushed it. It was my 399. It's been mentioned today. Flow.
All right.
The animated film about the cat and his buddies. Flow is so special and unique. It's wordless, I'm pretty sure. And it's enigmatic. Like there's hints at like a fantasy world or like a post-apocalyptic world or something.
That cats are maybe gods amongst these.
Yeah. But that's just really just like touched on. It's not an emphasis, and we really care about these characters. The animation is perfect. I mean, these animals seem, especially the cat, seems so real, and it's got humor, it's got thrills and suspense. It's really special. It's great. Yeah.
I agree. And that's why it pushed out my number 607 from the top 600. The movie that got pushed out was Razorback from 1984, and it was replaced by Flow, which entered my list at number 502. So I'm curious. I don't really have anything to say to add on to what you guys were saying about Flow. Just great, unique animated film. But I'm curious, somebody who does data analysis, is Flow the movie that we agree on more as far as its position on a list?
Let's see. Mine's 436. What was yours, Zach?
That's interesting. Yeah, mine's 399.
Mine's 502.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know.
So,
I'm curious.
There's a way to do this. If you guys send me, you know what? If you guys send me your top 700s,
you'll do some analysis on it.
I can do some analysis and figure out what, like, of the three movies we all rate the same, which ones are we closest on, and which ones are we farthest apart on.
Okay, that could be cool. Flow, so good.
I think there's probably a 5-star movie that all of us have in our top 20. You know what I mean? So like,
sure,
possibly.
I mean, but like, I wonder where the outliers are. You know what I mean?
Right.
The ones that aren't quite so obvious as the top 10.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm excited that Flow made all of our lists for sure. 607, Kyle?
Oh, yes. Back to me. My 607 is my old 551 Warrior, but new to my list is a movie from last year, The Wild Robot. Read this book with my son. We've read the second one. We're just started reading the third one now. And I thought The Wild Robot was a pretty strong adaptation of the book. It caught the emotions of the book for sure. Obviously, it's an adaptation. They made changes to the plot and to some of the characters and emphasis. That's totally fine. But it got the vibe of the book. And I thought the movie was pretty beautifully animated. I like the mix of the realism with like kind of the watercolor backgrounds. The movie had this emotional heart to it, while also kind of being a fun kids movie at times. Zach, have you finished The Wild Robot yet? Or I remember you started watching with your kids.
Haven't. I've seen half of it.
All right. Another one you should. Well, after Powder, you can watch Wild Robot.
Wait,
okay.
After Powder, but before Zone of Interest?
Dealer's choice at that point.
Wow.
He's never going to watch Zone of Interest at this pace.
My 607 is Gandhi, which I've talked about before. It got pushed down by my number 364, the best of the Equalizer films, The Equalizer 3. This is a Denzel Washington film, and this movie is just so good. I like The Equalizer as a character. I like Denzel Washington as an actor. I like the plot of this movie, and I loved the first 10 minutes of this movie. And so, yeah, The Equalizer 3 made it into my top 400.
You shouldn't be allowed to put that movie in your list.
Why?
Because you haven't seen Equalizer 2.
Oh, man, I would love to. That would be great.
Maybe it'd be higher once he sees it.
Yeah, but I have a long list that I have to see before I can see Zone of Interest.
You definitely need to watch Equalizer 2 before Zone of Interest if you're talking about important movies.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, Equalizer. If Equalizer 2 is, half the movie that Equalizer 3 is, then we're good to go.
It's more than half. My number 606 is Badlands, which I've talked about before because it was pushed out of my top 600 by Weapons, which entered at number 437. We just talked about Weapons like 2 episodes ago on episode 697. So if you want to hear more about what I thought about Weapons, go take a listen to that.
My 606 actually a new movie to the list. It is 2015's Brooklyn. This movie stars Saoirse Ronan. She plays an Irish immigrant who comes to New York City in the 1950s. I think her original plan is to come to New York City just to work for a bit, to make money for her family, and then before she goes back home. But she meets a boy in Brooklyn. She builds a life here, and then she goes back home and has to decide, does she want her life in Ireland or her life in America? This is just a beautifully acted, beautifully shot immigrant story. I went into this movie thinking it was a romance, and there is a romantic element to it. And I think it was billed as a romance movie, but it's really an immigrant story about someone assimilating to a new country, a new culture, and a new way of life, which I thought was done very well.
Brooklyn's so good.
Yeah.
My 606 I've talked about before. It's Melancholia from 2011. So instead, I'm going to talk about my 349, A Complete Unknown. This is Timothée Chalamet playing Bob Dylan, and I really like this biopic. I thought everyone embodied their characters so well. The music was really good. It told a very pivotal moment in rock and roll history, and I really liked Timothée Chalamet's performance. He played a complex Bob Dylan, which was great.
Yeah, the dude that's in the hospital too is so good. I forget that guy's name.
So good.
But yeah.
So good.
All right. My number 605 is Paradise Lost, The Child Murders at Robin Hood Hills, which is a movie I've already talked about because it was pushed out of my top 600 by Castaway, which enters my list at number 325. I don't know why Castaway wasn't already on my list because I love Castaway.
You just ignored it a little bit.
I think I just hadn't marked it watched and letterboxed, and then it's hundreds and hundreds of movies. There's no way you're going to remember every single one if you haven't had marked it watched. And so I think Castaway slipped through the cracks in that way. But yeah, Castaway, so good. Tom Hanks alone on an island, stranded,
and just Tom Hanks.
Yeah, halfway through the movie they like fast forward by years. I don't even remember how many years, but
about 3.
Yeah, great physical performance. Really, solo acting, filmmaking, just really impressive all around. Very memorable. One of my most memorable movie theater moments. I just remember watching Castaway, and it was the quietest theater I had ever been in. Like, you could hear a pin drop. People were just riveted with what was going to happen next in Castaway. A classic, in my opinion. My number 605.
Great pick. My number 605 is my old 550, Unbreakable, but new to the list, another movie from last year, another robot movie. This is my robot era, Robot Dreams. This is a movie similar to Flow, as in it's animated and it's mostly wordless, but it's definitely a different vibe. This movie takes place in like a retro future where there is a dog, anthropomorphic dog, who is lonely, and he buys this friendship robot. And this friendship robot shows up and they become best friends quickly. But he takes the friendship robot to the beach, and the robot malfunctions and kind of breaks down in the beach. And the dog has to try and fetch the robot, bring it back to repair it. And the robot's kind of lying here on the beach, having these visions, these dreams of what its life could be in the future. And it's just another beautiful movie about friendship and loss and abandon. And it's another great robot movie.
Cool. My 605 is Panther Panchali from 1955. It got pushed down by my 272. It broke the top 300. It's called Oleana. This is a movie that I have talked about a few times on the show. It is a triptych film with William H. Macy, who I famously am a fan of. And he plays a professor who is meeting with a student in his office. And we see them meet. And then we see them meet again. And then we see them meet again. And the teacher gets accused of sexual impropriety by the student. And it's written by David Mamet. And it's just very, very compelling character study. We only see these two characters in this room having this 3-part conversation. And this is way before the Me Too movement. But dealing with those issues, very interesting, very well done, very well acted. Oleana from 1994 is my new 272.
Nice. My number 604 is Fiddler on the Roof, which was pushed out of my top 600 by To Live and Die in LA from 1985, which enters my list at number 302. To Live and Die in LA is directed by William Friedkin, who directed The French Connection and The Exorcist, amongst others. This one I caught up with relatively recently, last year or two, and it's a crime story set in LA, noir crime story. Got some action in it as well. It's about Secret Service agents and drugs and crime, and it's really good, really dark, but very good. To Live and Die in LA.
My 604 is my old 549 Goldfinger, but new to the list. Previously mentioned, 2024 is The Substance. This was my favorite movie of 2024. This movie blew me away. I did not know what to expect. It cudgels you with its message, but its message is presented so well. And yeah, like Zach said, it's about the focus on aging and on beauty, especially amongst women. And I think this movie does such an effective job of telling you that, and also does a great job of ramping up the weirdness, that by the time you get to this crazy ending, you accept that this could happen in this world, because it slowly built you up to that moment, where other movies might just kind of jump to that moment and you're like, well, this is preposterous.
Nice. Great. My 604 is Saturday Night from 2024. This is a Jason Reitman film that depicts the first night of Saturday Night Live. And I don't know why, but I just really liked this movie. I thought it had so much energy and pizzazz, and it actually depicts a lot of very accurate things that happened. Maybe not like all at the same time, but like over the course of the first few months of SNL, like even things that you wouldn't think happened, like actually did happen in relatively the way that it was described in the movie. And I just had a lot of fun with this movie. I thought it was really well done.
That's a good movie. When I took that backlot tour of the studio in Atlanta, one of the stops was a soundstage with all the sets from that movie, Saturday Night.
Oh, really?
Which
was fun.
Which was fun. Yeah, evidently when they left, they were like, "Hey, we're gonna trash these. Do you guys want them?" And they were like, "Yeah, just leave them in place." And they turned it into like a little exhibit.
That's cool.
It was cool.
Cool.
All right, my number 603 is now EO from 2022. It's a great movie, but it got pushed out of my top 600 by The Substance.
Wow.
Which enters at number 299. I don't have anything to add. Just a great weirdo movie. I loved it. The Substance.
Perfect. My 603 is a documentary that you guys actually recommended to me from 1990. This is Paris is Burning. This is a doc about the ball scene in New York City in the late 80s. And the ball scene was essentially a safe space for queer people, especially queer people of color, to dance and express themselves how they wanted to. And the ball scene grew out of that, grew dancing, especially voguing, which was popularized by Madonna. Drag shows kind of grew out of the ball scene. And this moment in history, in queer history in New York City, kind of really drove forward queer acceptance and queer identity within the country. The movie also deals with some of like the harder stuff too, about how drugs were prevalent in the community, how AIDS was affecting the community. So it's not all sunshine and rainbows, but it's, just definitely a strong documentary of what was happening in that community, in that area of New York City at the time.
Great. Yeah, such a good documentary.
Yeah.
Really good. Okay, my 603 is If ... which was formerly on my list. It got pushed down by, and this is surprising maybe to you guys, how much I really liked this movie. My number 200, Predator: Killer of Killers.
Wow, that's high. That's great. I love that you have it so high.
That's amazing. I never would have ever predicted that. Ever.
This animated triptych film.
Can we please do our top 10 triptychs someday? I want to do that list.
Rashomon would be on there. I think there's some really good ones. Yeah. We can absolutely do that. This film is so good. It's animated really well. I love the period pieces of the different types of warriors. I love how they all come together at the end. I think the action is really good and thoughtful, and it makes me really wish that a younger me had seen Prey, so that I could consider it for my list. But unfortunately, it's stuck behind Zone of Interest. So I'll get to Prey one day.
Just keep pushing Zone of Interest down. Like, oh, Powder, oh, Prey, oh, yeah. Can I tell you a really quick fun aside about Predator?
Yeah.
So Galen is obsessed with Predator. He like just the imagery, the yatta, all that stuff. He's totally into it. But obviously, I will not let him see a Predator movie because they're all violent and rated R. Predator Badlands is coming out, and he's seen the trailer. He's like, "Oh, that's definitely PG-13. That's a PG-13 movie. We're gonna see Predator Badlands. It's PG-13," and he's convinced of it. And I've been reading recently that the director is shooting for a PG-13 on Predator Badlands.
Oh, fun.
Now, I haven't told him that yet, but
sure. You're waiting till it's official.
I wait till it's official. I also said the director was like, "Look, here's a loophole. Don't make the blood red." So it may still be as violent as a Predator movie, but if they're not bleeding red, then it's PG-13.
Interesting.
Good trick. Good trick.
It's a good trick. So I may just surprise him. I may just take him to the theater, not tell him what movie we're seeing.
Sure. Why not?
Yeah.
All right. There's two more. Starting
Not a
with-
two more.
Not a two more. Number 602 is now Bone Tomahawk from 2015, which was pushed out of my top 600 by Honora from 2024, which enters at number 289 on my list, and will probably move up even more over time because I've seen it twice, and I love this movie, Honora. I think it's a Sean Baker movie, who I wouldn't say is hit or miss, but I really didn't think Red Rocket was much at all. It's fine, but it wasn't anything special. And yet he turned around and made Honora right after it, and I was back on board. Really fun movie in an odd kind of way, yet realistic and devastating in the end. Movie that really made me think about my perception of people in this sex industry, I guess, on some level. Surprisingly charming movie. A movie that should be really dark, and dark things happen in it, but the humanity of the characters kept me along for the ride, I would say, and the humor throughout. Yeah, just a pretty unique movie, Honora, by number 602.
Good pick. My 602 is my old 547, 3 colors blue, which actually seems low. I like this movie more than that, so I might need to reassess when we do our top 800. But replacing it, and for me, this is like you, James. This is a Castaway situation. At 297, Castaway. I slept on this one too.
Did
I don't
we
know
both
why.
forget about Castaway?
No.
Yeah, no, not slept on. I've seen it before, but I don't know why I left this off my list for so long.
Funny. Both of you forgot about Castaway.
Both of us forgot about. Well, it was a movie that I saw a bunch when it came out. It was another like DVD staple, and then I didn't touch it for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh yeah, Castaway's a good movie, yeah. And then I watched it recently with Galen, and I was like, oh, Castaway's a great movie. Like how do I forget how good this movie is?
Yep.
So. Yeah, 297. James, where was Castaway on yours? Do you remember?
325. Pretty close.
297 we're very, very close.
Very, very close.
Yeah.
Okay. My 602 is Social Animals, a movie that got pushed down by my new 138. So this movie's doing very well on my list. It's a new entry. I saw it very recently. It's called The Life of Chuck from 2024. Have either of you seen The Life of Chuck?
Never heard of this movie.
I think I've heard of it because you've talked about it, but
I don't think I've talked about it yet.
Oh, okay. Well then, there you go.
It is very new. It's a Mike Flanagan movie starring Tom Hiddleston. And my strong recommendation, it would be to know nothing about this movie when you watch it.
I've already read it, and it's about the multitudes contained in all of us, so it's spoiled. I can't.
Yeah, I would say try to know absolutely as little about this movie as possible if you plan on watching it. It is my 138. I loved this movie. This movie, like, you can just inject straight into my veins. It is surprisingly a triptych movie, which is nice.
My gosh.
No, it's not. We don't know. You
It
can't
is.
prove it.
It is. No one will ever know. Chiwetel Ejiofor is in it, and Nick Offerman is the Mark Hamill's in it. I mean, Jacob Tremblay's in it. There's a lot going on, but I think people should watch it cold. So I really don't want to say anything except I love that this movie exists, and I love movies like this, and it deserves to be my 138. The Life of Chuck.
138.
Are the three triptychs the wonder of love, the heartbreak of loss, and the multitude contained in all of us? Is that each of the stories?
That is not.
Okay.
No, absolutely not.
138's great. That's a great spot to put a new movie in there.
Oh, loved it so much. Can't wait to watch it again.
Added it to my watch list.
I did the same. Just I've never heard this movie before.
All right, let me know. It's more a me movie than a Kyle movie. I'll tell you that.
Oh boy, can't wait.
All right, my number 601 and the last movie of this subsection of a master list is She Dies Tomorrow, which got pushed out of my top 600. So instead, I'm going to talk about the movie that took its place in the top 600. It's another legacy one. I forgot. It's 1984's Karate Kid.
Whoa, what? You talk about that movie, how much you love that movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's it at? What slot?
It enters at 260.
Okay.
Yep. Both Castaway and Karate Kid I rewatched in the past year, which is how I discovered it was not marked watched.
Yep.
And I made sure they got in the list this go around. Yeah, I mean, Karate Kid. What's there to say about the original Karate Kid? It's kind of cheesy. Like the rewatch, I was like, oh wow, this movie does have some rough edges. It has a lot of 80s-ness to it that maybe hasn't aged quite as well. But as somebody who grew up with this movie, essentially, I was 7 when it came out, and I remember watching it on cable over and over and over. It has that nostalgic pull for me, even if it's not a perfect movie from a technical or storytelling standpoint. I definitely related to the characters of that time, and anytime I see it now, or essentially on rewatch this past year, I was just like, I really love this movie, even if it's not flawless.
How many movies from the Karateverse would you say you like?
This one.
Just one.
I mean, I like the TV show, whatever it's called.
Cobra Kai?
Cobra
Cobra
Kai.
Kai.
I liked Cobra Kai, but not
Okay.
for the same reasons I liked Karate Kid.
I liked the first 3 Karate Kids, and I liked the remake of Karate Kid.
With Hilary Swank or with Jaden Smith?
Both.
So you like 5 Karate Kid movies. So you like the first. You like the
I thought
first
Hilary
5.
Swank
She's
is
in the
Karate Kid
third.
3.
She's in Karate Kid 3.
Oh, I thought she was in 4.
No, the first 2 Karate Kids are the usual suspects. And
Ralph
then
Macchio. Yeah.
as of part 3, Ralph Macchio's out and
Okay.
Hilary Swank's in. The first 3 Karate Kids are movies I would watch again. I'll never watch any of the other ones again.
Gotcha. Okay. Have you seen the latest one, the newest one?
I have. It's easily the worst of any
Okay.
of the Karate Kid things.
All right. My 601, my last movie is my old 546. It Follows. So my actual last movie is a new addition, not to my top 100, but my top 150. And that is Police Story, the Jackie Chan movie.
You love that movie.
This movie has been growing on me. I've watched it a couple times over the last couple years, and every time I watch it, I like it more and more. I find more to like about it. I watched it with Galen a couple of months ago, and he had a blast with it. He thought it was so funny, but also loved all the action in it. And I think this is peak Jackie Chan doing his Hong Kong stuff. Obviously, he had Rush Hour, and those are great, but like he had to tone it down for Rush Hour. You watch Police Story, and there's no toning it down. It really feels like they said, what are we going to do? Well, the car is going to drive through the village, and people will jump out of the way. Great. How are we going to do it? Well, we're going to drive a car through the village, and people will jump out of the way. Great. Film it. Let's go. And I mean, this movie feels so reckless at times, because it is, but also so much fun. The amount of sugar glass they break in this movie is ridiculous. Like they're just throwing people through panes of glasses anytime they get a chance. There's so much of it all over the place. I get so much joy from watching Police Story.
That's awesome. I love that for you. I also like Police Story. My 601 is The Big Parade from 1925, but it got pushed down by my number 131. Nothing broke my top 100 in this latest update. My top 100 has remained, but my 131 is Dune: Part 2.
Police Story is my 131.
Was it?
Yeah.
That's a bingo.
That's
Weird.
crazy.
Weird.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, Dune: Part 2 is a masterpiece. It's so good. I mean, it's just what they're able to achieve from an unfilmable book is amazing. And I thought it was really well executed, so I love it.
Nice. It's a really good sand movie.
Oh, yeah, really good sand movie.
Maybe the best sand movie.
Yes, for sure. I just wish it was told in 3 parts.
Sure.
You want a triptych of Dune?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there is a third coming out, so.
Great.
Did you guys have any movies that moved around? Maybe it wasn't new to the list, but like for one reason or another, they moved around.
Totally.
All right.
Yeah.
I didn't even consider it unless I rewatched it since the last time we made the list. The only one that I rewatched that I thought was worth moving was Reign of Fire, which moved 172 spots from 638 to 467. Do you guys have any that you want to mention?
Not offhand. I did a lot of like readjusting, but
Okay.
not offhand. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing. I would say the one that probably jumped the most, actually, both 2 of them,
Mhm.
Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2,
Okay.
independently both jumped 26 spots, which I thought is interesting.
Nice.
So I think I kind of reassessed the Spider-Man movie. And then Jaws is another movie that's been slowly creeping its way up. Jaws is at 206 right now.
Nice.
But again, that's a movie where it keeps kind of creeping up into like a little bit better. So
sure.
we'll see where it ends up next time.
Very cool. Well,
How about you, James?
I just had that
Oh,
one.
Rate of Fire. Yeah, you said
Yeah.
Rate of Fire.
Basically, everything from 259 down stayed exactly the same.
Nice. What are the odds?
All right. Thank you for joining us for this episode 700 of the Cinereelists. We appreciate your listenership. Hopefully that was fun to listen to, and you heard of some titles maybe you've never heard of, and expanded your watch list. If you want to take a look at our lists, we each have letterbox versions of the list in the show notes of this episode. So just click on through and you can grab a title from there and know how many you've seen of our top 700. If you have a letterbox account that's up to date, that's could be a fun thing to do. And also, we need to remind you, there's a YouTube version of this podcast on YouTube, which makes sense because I said YouTube twice. Go check it out there. Subscribe while you listen. Support us on Patreon. Leave us an Apple Podcast review or send us an email. Links are in the description to do any and all of those things. You could also follow the podcast on social media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok at Cinereelists, or you could follow my personal Blue Sky or Letterboxd account at YoJRB.
You can follow me on Twitter or Letterboxd at Mr. Movies.
And you can find Senior Cinema on Letterboxd at Peter SKB.
Nice. Well, Philip Film and the other guys will be back next time where we will review the new Paul Thomas Anderson movie, One Battle After Another. So if you haven't seen that, that's your homework for the week. We'll see you guys on episode 701. Until then, keep it cinereal.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.